No, it's fine. It works.
It's clobbering time. It's clobbering.
Atomic batteries to power. Turbines to speed.
Roger, ready to move out.
Clobberonimo!
Yeah.
Clobberonimo!
Clobberonimo. Welcome, my friends. Greetings, clobberers and clobberonimos and clobberettes and clobberooskies and every other kind of clobberness we have out there. Good to see you, my good friends. Welcome to CLOBBY'S Clubhouse. With me, as always, is my wonderful first officer, the magnificent, the greatest first officer in the fleet, the lovely, the fantastic, the brilliant science fiction author, RM, Commander RM, Raquel Briggs. Welcome. We. I made her wait for that.
Deserve that beginning. I didn't deserve that intro.
You did.
But I love you with all of my heart, and I'm so excited to be here. And Chris Persia says, wow, talk about targeted advertising for maple-flavored Vector. Then Souvlaki. Did Raquel wiggle her finger inside the algorithm? Chris, I am so happy to hear that CLOBBY has advertisements for maple-flavored Vector water or pop. I'm not sure what it is. And Souvlaki. That is so cool. Love it.
I didn't put it on there.
No, but the algorithm chooses it, judging by the things we talk about on the show, the interests of the people who visit us, and that's a very wide audience that they're appealing to, which means you have really great show that is good for a wide audience with varying interests, and I think it's terrific.
Well, it's not like they're giving me anything for it, fellas, but they'll have everyone. So I'm sorry. Now, I get ads when I watch YouTube on my phone, but on my computer, I never get them. So I don't know how anyone's watched. Anyway, by the way, when you said you don't deserve it, I disagree. I'm ordering you to deserve it. As your captain. Anyway, hello, everybody, my good friends. Welcome. Hopefully the great Mark D will join us in an hour or so. The whole Clubhouse gang will be here eventually. Let's see, show notes. Well, of course, everyone, as you all know, please, as I put the link in my description below and in the chat, please check out the new book of science fiction short stories by my wonderful first officer. Please go and follow that link if you have not already. And if you have, thank you for doing that. Thank you for picking up the book. We appreciate it.
Yeah, and I really appreciate you promoting my book. It really means a lot
Nothing
to
to
me.
it.
If you like old school science fiction, science fiction that isn't trying to tell you how to vote, it's just trying to tell you some stories and take you to a different place. And you like episodic fiction, you know how everything is serialized now because ideas are hard to come up with these corporate writing teams. If you're really looking for that classic science fiction, you're really looking for that episodic adventure, these stories are great for if you're having a hot tub, if you have to commute to work, if you need something to read over your lunch hour. And I would be honored if you would purchase that book, everyone. And thank you so much to all who have. I really appreciate your support.
Indeed, we do appreciate you so much. Only let's see, other show notes. Tomorrow night I should be hanging out over at 8 p.m. Central. Should be hanging out with the great Nick Weiser and the Friday Night Comic Shop gang. Hopefully, I don't know exactly what we're doing. Maybe just open Geek Talk. I don't know, but we will have some themes coming up on there, I'm sure.
Ooh.
And of course, Saturday night Star Trek.
Dun, 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 dun.
9 p.m. Same Trek time, same Clubby channel. We are starting season 4 of Star Trek Deep Space Nine, folks. Yes, 4 episodes coming up. So looking forward to that. And finally, Sunday night, I'll be hanging out at the Sunday Night Geekery on our great our chief engineer's channel, Mark D with a C's channel for the Sunday Night Geekery. Always feel free to stop by and join us for that if you can. And let's see, next Wednesday, of course, I'll do the normal stuff on Monday and I'll let everybody, but next Wednesday night, I will have the great Michael French of Retro Blasting to hang out with me, just to have just kind of a stream where we just hang out and talk about stuff. My great friend. So fans of Retro Blasting, hopefully we'll enjoy that. I'm looking forward to it. I love hanging out with my friend Michael. And so, yeah, that's what we got going on. Let's start out with some hellos. But when we do our hellos, of course, we start out, whether they happen to be here at the moment or not, we shout out our great wrench friends.
Yay!
The bronze wrencher, the great Eric K.
Mwah, mwah, mwah.
We always, and of course,
Love you.
I do know that I can't see the chat, so I don't know who's here right now, everybody. But I do know that the great Chris Persia, the Vindicator.
Mwah, mwah, mwah. Love, love, love you.
Thank you, buddy, for all you do. And I don't know if he's here or not, but the great D-Bud Mark.
Yay! Mwah, mwah, mwah. Love you too.
The Wrench of Iron, the great D-Bud Martin, Eric K. And let's see here who else. Let me take a look now at who is with us this evening. Things. My chat always jumps on me. Okay, let's see there. Sean Estep. I'm not sure exactly if I'm saying that correctly. If I am not, I apologize. But Sean, I think I may have seen you pop in here before. I'm not sure, but
Nice
I've seen
to
your
meet
name.
you.
Nice to meet you. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Comic Relief Crusader, hail.
Hey,
see you there.
hello.
Gwagnar.
Wagner.
The beautiful Six is here. I love you, Six. You're the best.
Did you see this beautiful message she left for me?
Not
I
yet.
love this woman. This woman
I'll
is
have-
my partner in crime. Not only did we force you to monetize when you didn't want to, but look at what she put in the chat.
I
bought two
have
of
the
your
chat
books.
backed up. I can't see it.
Oh, well, I'll read it to you, boss. She says, I bought 2 of your books, Raquel. I was going to donate 1 to my library, but I'm selfish and I need a hardcover and a
Oh.
soft cover for a complete set. So I'm off to Amazon to purchase another hardcover to donate.
Aw.
6, sweetheart, I love you, honey.
You are
Thank you
too
so
kind.
much.
Six
What a
is the
doll.
best. We love you, Six. Love you, love you.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about doing the member stream next week. I'll let you
Oh,
know the time. But I will not set it at any time that Six can't make it. So we got to have Six there.
Yeah, we have to have her there.
Oh, she had to dig to find the stream. She said, "Wow, that happens to me sometimes." I guess YouTube just doesn't like me there. Six, I guess they just don't like me.
Wasn't there a big shutdown though? Everyone
don't-
said that there was a big
said somebody.
a
That one-
big
not
shutdown
today.
of
Was that
YouTube.
today? I don't know.
Yeah, I heard that something happened today where a whole bunch of
Well-
people got shut down.
I don't know. Maybe so. Could be. It figures. By the way, before I continue with the shout out to everyone who is lurking. We always appreciate our lurkers. Thank you so much. And a big shout out to everyone
Yay.
who is watching on a rewatch or a download or whatever you want to call it. Thank you. You mean the world to us. We appreciate you.
We
Shout
really do.
Brian Hepburn, thank you for being here tonight, my friend.
Yay.
Cal L, the great Stephen M. What's up, buddy?
The real soup.
Real soup. Let's see whom else. Bisha, Classic Comics. What's up, buddy?
Hey, hi.
Good to see you. He said, well, Six said she didn't get a notification I was privileged to be on with Tom and the gang for Midnight's Edge After Dark earlier. She said she didn't get one for me either. Wow, crazy. But anyway, by the way, had a great time on there with the Midnight's Edge After Dark gang. Tom, always hail Tom and Mike and the great Mexican Iron Man and Nick Weiser and 70s and Script and all those and Culture Casino.
Oh my goodness, the whole gang was there.
Big gang there today.
I love those guys.
Great guys. Hungry to excel at choosing sci-fi for the doyen.
I love you, hungry boy. We had such a great time this week watching all of these beautiful films together. You are the best. Wow, everyone is going to be so excited when they hear about these films that we watched together. My film buddy.
Yes, indeed. Hungry boy. Hey, Fanty Outsider.
Yay, Fanty!
You know what? He is a wrench, I think, and he's been around with us a long time, this old rascal. So I just got this for you, Fanty Outsider.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah, he
is. Congratulations, Fanty.
I know he knows who that is. I don't have to tell him. So, that's you, Phantom Outsider.
Oh, that's great.
Yep.
Take a bow, baby. Take a bow.
Let's see here. I can't see.
The boss just put some pips on you, Fanty.
That's right. Let's see. The chat jumped on me again, everybody. Hang on a second. I don't want to miss anybody, but I keep... What the hell's wrong with this stupid thing? Oh, well. All right. I hope I didn't miss anybody. Let's see here. That's what I get for going to another screen. Hang on. That's some vamping music. Captain Infinity and Beyond.
Captain Infinity and Beyond. Okay, Captain Infinity, you can't leave tonight. Like, I know you pop in, you're like, hey, everybody, how's it going? And you interact for a few minutes and then you got to step away. I need you to stay because there's something I want to talk about and it's one of your areas of expertise. So your expertise is required here. So sit tight. Please stay where you are. You are, I'm calling you into duty, sir.
Disobey those orders at your own risk, dude. My hands are, I'm out of it. Captain James T. Skywalker. The great master of the Limerick, Max Redstone.
Maximum Redstone.
Damn, this thing's all right.
I love his additions. Clams. Oh, guess who just walked through the door?
Darius Munchausen.
Darius Munchausen. Hey, sweetheart.
Hello. And I think I got everyone. I hope I didn't miss anybody. Speak up if I did, everybody. So anyway, we like to get the hellos, and that way, throughout the course of the night, we shout everybody out. So again, thank you all for being here with us tonight at the Clubhouse. Claude Selling, hey there.
Hey,
welcome.
Claude. Nice to see you.
Claude. Man, let's see here. Well, what do we got doing? I guess we could start with our movies. You want to start with our movies? Don't worry, no. I'll torture Hungry Boy later with a tripwire.
I wanna start with something that that we don't usually get into, but it's not political. So like I really want to talk about it, and I have very limited knowledge here. So as a nerd, I'm not a geek. I'm not a cinephile.
Okay.
I'm not a filmophile. I don't know a lot. And I also don't know a lot about, like...
Ezra Goldstein.
Stories for film and things like that. Hello,
gotcha.
Ezra.
Hey,
Nice
Ezra.
to see.
Good to see
Oh
you.
no, I'm so sorry you're not feeling well, honey.
Oh, I hope you feel better, Ezra. Sorry
yeah,
about
honey,
that.
I'm sending you a hug. Okay, I need to talk about this.
Mm-hmm.
I need to get this off my chest because holy guacamole, Batman. What the hell? What in the HE double hockey sticks is going on with Indiana Jones? So there's this guy on YouTube called The Critical Drinker.
Yes, we all big fan. I'm a big fan of Critical Drinker.
Okay, well, I follow him. I used to follow Dave Cullen, but then Dave started making some really suspect choices when it comes to the filth. So I stopped following Dave, even though I love Dave.
I still like Dave. Yeah.
But he said some stuff where I was like, "What are you doing? Stop that! Shin kicks.
He got weak on strangled nude worms, but overall, he's pretty good.
Yeah. But you know who has stayed the course? Who doesn't get fooled, doesn't mess around, and has high expectations? Is this young man, this Critical Drinker guy? Really like him. I think he's quite wonderful.
Oh yeah, he's great. Love him.
And he said today on Twitter, and this is why I believe it, because I've watched his reviews and he doesn't mess around. He's not a jerk and he's not a troll. He's a real person who is actually an author, and he's sold many books on Amazon. So he's a published author. He's a respected author, and his reviews are never bogus. This guy doesn't hide behind an anonymous handle. Yeah. This guy's a real guy. He was saying today that Indiana Jones has time travel in it. What in the hell is going on?
Well, Doomcock's been saying that for years now. You know, Doomcock dropped a video about it today. The trailer dropped today for the Indiana.
I didn't see that.
It's a teaser trailer. You'd have to see it. Okay, well, Doomcock's been talking about this for a long time. Our good friend, our dear buddy, DC Doomcock.
Wow. Okay, I did not know that. I've got a job on the side, so I've been pretty engrossed in that. But so Doomcock said it too. Okay, so
he's done many videos about it.
What the hell is going on? Now, I remember Indiana Jones, saw it in the theater. It was really good. I really enjoyed it. It was about a professor of archaeology. I don't think he even had a PhD.
Hey, Mark Lerseth. He was a teacher. I mean,
yeah. Okay. So maybe he was a professor.
He is Dr. Jones. Yeah.
Oh, he is a doctor. Okay.
Dr. Jones. Of course.
So I remember him being like this professor, this teacher, professor guy, who teaches archaeology, and he finds himself in these thrilling adventures. Why the hell would a corporation, take this story and turn it into a time travel thing? Captain Finity, can you believe this crap?
Well, I can tell you why.
The right genre.
Well, did you see? I don't know which films of his you've seen. If you haven't, I'm a big Indiana Jones fan. I saw Raiders of the Lost Ark in the theater for the first time in 1981 the day it came out, and then watched it. I went to the theater 10, 11 times, whatever it was, to go see it in 1981. It stayed in the theater for over a year. I'm one of those who even loves Indiana Jones with the Temple of Doom. Many don't. Many are critical of it. But I love it, and I love Indiana Jones with the Last Crusade. I even like the Young Indiana Jones TV series, a lot of it anyway. Then there was, hey, Just Joe, what's up, Jobber?
Hey, Jobber, nice to see you.
Good to see you. Then there was in 2008, there was it 7 or 8, whatever it was, Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Numbskull. Are you familiar with that movie?
Is that the one with the little boy?
Yes. Well, yeah, I guess so. You could
That's
say.
When it wasn't very good.
A little boy in Temple of Doom as well. So this means not a little boy, but a young teenager that he's running around with. And it's 2000. It's the last one they did, in other words. And
I haven't seen any of the new ones with the Shia LaBeouf person.
That's the only one new one with Shia LaBeouf, and that's 2000, I guess, 8 or whatever.
No, I wouldn't watch that Shia.
Okay, well, in that one, they did meet aliens from another dimension.
Oh my God.
See, Indiana Jones, for me, even though it's only been those 3 movies, and other comics and stories and stuff, it should be more like, supernatural type stuff, but not necessarily. Certainly, time travel is ridiculous. But what we've been hearing Doomcock and his sources, and he's been making videos about this for a while, long before this. And I haven't seen this. I didn't get to see his new video yet today. I plan to watch that later. He just dropped it today, which is, I guess, commenting on the teaser that dropped today. It's called now we know a title for the first time ever. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
Oh boy.
Yeah. And apparently there's a bunch of shots in the trailer that show some deep fakes of a younger Indiana Jones. But the reason why they've decided to put time travel in this, according to what Doomcock has said, and look, spoiler alert, folks, if you don't like being spoiled about this movie, and these are all rumors, he doesn't know this is confirmed yet, but his belief is, and the things he's been hearing, and he believes that this trailer bears it out, apparently. Again, I haven't seen his new video, so I don't know for sure. But he's apparently this is really, this is where it gets a little political, but not too. I'm not going to go too far into it. There's a female comedian / actress by the name of Phoebe Waller-Bridge, who helped add all of the feminine. Hey, JT Kirk, good to see you there, buddy.
JT Kirk.
Right, it's a teaser.
Okay.
If that matters at all. Anyway, Phoebe Waller-Bridge was heavily involved, from what I understand, in that last so-called James Bond movie, No Time to Die, which had a lot of anti-male, a lot of feminist stuff added into that.
That's another movie you couldn't pay me to watch.
Yeah, I didn't watch it. I watched every Bond movie ever made until that one.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, she's a popular British comedian, actress, or whatever, and she and Kathleen Kennedy have decided to put her in. And hey, Dave, good to see you.
Dave.
And so the reason why I was going to answer basically why time travel is apparently involved in this movie is because this is what Doomcock says. This is what has been said. I want everyone to be clear about this right now. It's not me saying it. I don't know if it's true or not. I believe my buddy Doomcock but like I said, he's talking about a lot of this is rumor. It looks like they're going to, according to people who have talked about leaks and scripts and things like this. Remember, this is all rumor and hearsay right now. But this teaser does make it look like time travel is involved. And like Critical Drinker said, it looks like it's going to be time travel. They want to basically have this character, this woman who is apparently Marcus Brody's daughter, Indiana Jones's friend, played by Denham Elliott in the original film and the third film. And it takes place in somewhere like the 60s or whatever. And she's running around with him. He's, of course, much older Indy. David Rayborn, what's up, cuz?
Hey, cuz.
And apparently they're going to use time travel to have her replace Indiana Jones. And by the end of the film, this is his belief. He said this. I'm not saying this is true, everybody. This movie's not coming out till next summer. that she will actually become Indiana Jones by the end, and he will be erased from time.
What?
Kathleen Kennedy. Now, that's what Doomcock has said. That is what he said, that his leaks have. Again, and I trust my buddy Doomcock. I'm just saying he always caveats that these are rumors that he's hearing.
Okay, see, this isn't my cup of tea, so I haven't been watching these videos. I don't really know about this kind of stuff, especially when everyone starts talking about the inside baseball of films. My eyes glaze over and I get quite bored.
Well, this is
crazy news. This is
nuts. Like I said, this is what he always says, because I have to do due diligence just like Doomcock does. He says, please take this with, this is the rumor that he's reporting, that he's getting from his that he reports, and when he does his videos, he says these are his sources are telling him this. These are rumors. He's not verifying any of it. Just telling you what he has been saying.
What people are saying.
What Doomcock has been saying. Yes. So, and Doomcock's our friend, so believe me, we don't disbelieve him at all, and we understand. And I appreciate him, putting out saying that this is what he's hearing from other sources. So. I don't know what Critical Drinker said because I didn't see what you saw earlier, but it looks like his opinion is, and the opinion of many people, that seeing this teaser today, it does seem to imply that time travel is involved.
Wow.
Now, I watched the trailer. It looks kind of, I don't know. I mean, they have a lot of shots of some different eras of deep faked, young, de-aged Indiana Jones in some scenes. And, I mean.
So a teaser. So correct me if I'm wrong, because once again, folks, I'm a nerd. I'm an academic. I'm not a geek. I don't know all this stuff about films that many of you have meditated on for many years. I mean, you guys know, you've memorized whole scripts and, stuff that's going on behind the scenes. So a teaser is what, 2 or 3 seconds, whereas a trailer is what, 2 or 3 minutes? Is that the impression? That's my impression. Is that in the ballpark?
This was about 6. How long was this thing? Like a minute something? Minute 30 something? It's got a lot of quick cuts, a lot of chase scenes, a lot of. I mean, it looks. People are saying teaser, and it is. It's called a teaser.
Mhm.
However, I mean, it's not. I mean, trailers are usually a little bit longer, so it's kind of a. I mean, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, if you pardon the pun. 6. So I don't know how long the thing is exactly, but it's a teaser,
Mhm.
and it's supposed
Mark.
to. Mark, listen, I had acknowledged. Hey, Mark, good to see you. Okay, so it was almost 2 minutes long,
Mhm.
which is not that far off from the average length of a trailer, but there will obviously be a longer trailer eventually.
Okay.
Wasn't it a teaser because it didn't reveal any? That's a good point, 6. It doesn't reveal any plot points. It's a teaser from that respect as well. That is actually a good point.
Isn't that kind of and
But you
I'm going to
can-
turn this to 6 and as well as you, Clobby. But doesn't that seem to be sort of the prevailing style nowadays? It seems as though everything that does fall onto my feed, and I do happen to click on it, they don't really reveal a lot of plot details. They seem to I don't know. It's
teaser?
like they're moving teasers and trailers in a completely different direction
Right.
than, let's say, Gen X is accustomed to. It's almost as if there isn't enough meat on the bone to even give you a trailer. And can you speak to that? And maybe 6, you could speak to
Well,
that
it's
in
like
the
what
chat
6
as well.
said. It's like what 6 said. Exactly right. It's a teaser because it's not necessarily. It's trying to just show you this is coming up. It's long range. Teasers are always long range. So
Mhm.
it's not necessarily giving you any. Yeah, 144. She said. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, 6.
Okay.
So it's not giving you plot points, so to speak. That's why. I don't know. Like Critical Drinkers, he's extrapolating just
Mhm.
as, and again, and Doomcock is where I think I mean, again, I don't know if he has any inside people or not. Doomcock has repeatedly referred to. He always tells everyone take it with a grain of salt, but
Right.
he does have what he talks about his sources. So semantics lane. I don't mean to go down semantics lane 6. I hope you forgive me for it. I'm just saying they're very. I mean, I don't know. We used to make fun of trailers that told you everything that was in a damn movie.
Mhm.
So, but this doesn't do that. This is but no, teaser's fine. Call it whatever you want.
But isn't there like there seems to be a problem, in the neuroscience that I've been reading and in the academic cultural reflections in social science that I'm reading, that there is an extreme problem right now with attention spans, and there is a significant change in style of writing. So you could have a very juicy, beautifully written film in generations prior that it was lovingly created by an author. But with these
know.
corporate IPs, it just doesn't seem that like I said earlier, there just isn't enough meat on the bone to keep interest. So it seems like these things are getting shorter and shorter, and they're telling us less and
Right.
less because there's really nothing there of substance. So I think trailers and teasers are dangerous for this corporate writing. The corporate writing is definitely inferior to a single author's authorship. So it's kind of freaky, isn't it?
No, it is. By the way, 6. I caught that because even my memory isn't that bad. I remember you going after you were quite correct what you were saying about semantics, and you were absolutely right, of course. And I'm not even using semantics on that one. Donnie Pearson, good to see you. And the great J-Man is here.
Hey,
We went to see Violent Night, 4 out of 10. What trailer? We were talking about the Indiana Jones 5 trailer.
Yeah.
So good to see you there, buddy. And sorry you didn't.
J-Man, I'm freaked out because I'm old school Indiana Jones. I haven't watched any of the new filth of Indiana Jones, and so there is widespread speculation from reliable super geeks that this may be a time travel thing. And so I was struck by immediate revulsion at the change in the corporate writing for Indiana Jones. And so I've just broached that with the boss, and we're in the thick of it now. So if you want to chime in, J-Man, please do.
Hey, Darius Munchausen. Thank you for joining, Darius. Appreciate that. Now, see, when it comes to Indiana Jones films, like I just mentioned, I love the Raiders of the Lost Ark and saw it many times in 1981 at the theater. I'm one of those few that really loves, and don't care who doesn't agree. I love Temple of Doom, and although it's not, I don't think it's as good as Raiders. And I even love the Last Crusade for all of its problems. And like I said, I even like the old young indie TV show to an extent. I like some of it, but Crystal Numbskull, a little bit of a different story. Really wanted to love it. I really wanted to like that movie, and man, it's just, yeah. This one, however, look, I could accept an old Indian if they do it well. It looks to me like this is going to be, now this is speculation, okay? So before anyone goes, how do you know? This is the time travel stuff is speculation that is starting to look probably, according to others, true. What I extrapolate from this is going to be all about the Phoebe Waller Fleabag character, Fleabag some shows she did. Hello there, Trevor Cunningham. My suspicion is she's going to be, he's going to be the butt of the joke. She's going to be the bestest ever. Mm-hmm. She's going to run around being best at everything and making him look like running him down.
Men are idiots.
He'll be stupid and the goofball, and he's an old fool, and she's going to be the bestest.
And she'll be perfect, and she will edify him. She will attempt to edify him, but he'll be such a numbskull, it will be impossible. I've started a comment by Miss Six, and I'd love to put it on the marquee.
Go for it.
Maybe you already have put this on the marquee, boss, and I just missed it. But Six says, trailers have changed because movie plots are made public before movies are even done being filmed.
That's a good point.
Wow, gross.
That is true.
Why?
That is true, Six, because there was a time before that was the case where I'd go see I'd see a trailer and go, damn, they just told me everything happens in the movie. I don't have to watch the movie now. We used to complain about that. Now, movie plots are
why?
Yeah, I don't know.
Dumb. You know, one of the best things about my readers, I'm not a corporate author. I'm an old-fashioned, I write for just people, an entertainment type of writer. But one thing I do have to say is my readers are so brilliant. Like every single review, and I have the most outstanding reviews. A few of them actually brought me to tears. Every single one of my reviewers always says, I can't tell you about this story. If I do, I'll ruin it for you. And I'm not going to do that to you. And I love that. I love that they're like that. And they're like a crowd that makes sure that nobody ruins it for anyone else. So I love my readers. I love them so much. They're just the most perfect, wonderful human beings. I adore them. I appreciate them so much.
Yes, Kal-El, I do. I also foresee another Love and Blunder. Thor Love. Yeah, that's probably what we're looking at. Yeah, so what are you gonna do? It was nice while it lasted. Those old films. I mean, I would like to have seen them do more. But there's the thing. Why, as with Lucas and Spielberg, they went to do other stuff. So Pleasant Valley Picker, hello, they're good to see you.
BBB!
After Last Crusade in 1989, would it have killed them a few years later to maybe do one or two movies in the 90s? So we would have had at least a couple of other ones to enjoy before they wait till all the way to 2008 to do it. That's just, but I know none of them cared a month to do it, but that would have been the time to make more. Make at least two more while Harrison Ford was still relatively young. Larry!
Hi, sweetheart. Long time no see. You've been missed.
Good to see you. In my opinion, that would have been the best time to make at least a couple of more instead of waiting to 2008. So right now, there's a lot of, I would be mostly indifferent. Now I'll go watch any movie that's called Indiana Jones. But was it 6? May God forgive me, but I ordered Thor Love and Blunder on 4K Amazon because it was $8. Well, hey, not a problemo. You always use a few coasters around the house.
That's right.
You never, you always have something to put a drink on there.
Yeah, and for something that poor in quality, you might want to reserve it for when someone comes over with a candy apple, or maybe you're drinking root beer schnapps or something quite sugary and destructive.
Stunt Brat 777 Smith. Hey there. What's up?
Hey, sweet lady. How are you?
Hey there. Good to see you, lady.
Working on any movies lately, Stunt Brat?
Oh, good to see you there. Good to see you. So yeah, again, look, it looks. If we didn't know anything about the things that Doomcock has been telling us about the time travel, I would think, and I just saw the teaser without knowing much, I'd have gone, it looks some of the de-aging stuff, you'll ban yourself. No. Hey, there will be no banning of Six around here.
Listen, you're not going anywhere. You have to
You
stay
ain't
right
banned.
here, Six.
Yeah, what you talking about? What you talking about, girl?
Oh, Stuntbrat. I didn't know Stuntbrat
retired,
was
yes.
retired. I was hoping you were going to be my body double for when I do a movie, even though I have no plans on doing a movie. I'm just saying
Just
that
in
because
case you
I just
were.
love you.
Just in case you were. You never know. So yeah, I don't think anyone was clamoring for this, to be honest with you.
Yeah, who's this for?
Well, I don't know. I mean, he's 79 years old, and
Yeah.
I don't think
And
anybody.
who's it for? Who's it
look,
for?
The name carries some recognition. That's a for sure, but it didn't really need to happen.
Yeah.
I don't. I mean, look, Star Wars is a brand. I understand, even though they've ruined it, but I understand why you keep making those. I mean, you could understand that is Indiana Jones that kind of a franchise? I don't think so. I mean, it would do well when you make them. If you'd have kept it consistent, you might have had something, but I just don't know. I don't understand who needed this thing.
JT Kirk thinks
especially
the whole thing is about the Kathleen Kennedy and her sycophants.
It is about that, yes. The question about it's about her destroying something else. She destroyed Star Wars. Let her destroy the other big beloved male character that was run by Lucasfilm.
Did you see the coverage of the Lord of the Rings? And I mean, like, actually the Lord of the Rings. You know the guy who plays Theoden? Somebody approached him to be on the Rings of Cringe. And it was in Variety magazine, and he just ripped them a new one. He was like, this isn't storytelling. This is a way of recycling to make money. And I'm not familiar with the gentleman's name, but he played
I can't remember his
Theoden.
name. I know who you're talking about, but I can't remember his name.
And I think that, well, obviously, I don't need to say I think. If it's coming out of my mouth, you know I think. But it's just, there's such overwhelming evidence that these IPs are being destroyed through corporate recycling. It's pathetic, it's gross, and it's horrible to watch. It's so unsightly. Just, it's so money grubbing, it's so greedy and dirty and low down. Yucky.
I think it's more than just the money grubbing. I think it is her wanting to destroy. She destroyed Star Wars. By the way, I'm not saying she wanted to destroy it. She wanted to destroy it for the people who loved it before to repurpose it for the audience that she wanted to create, that she thought she could create with her, that would follow her agenda, and it didn't really work out that well for her. Well, she wants to do it with this going out the door. She wants to do it with Indiana Jones, and Harrison Ford's just a dummy who will just take any old amount of money to do anything. I'm sorry, I love the guy as an actor, as a person. He's a dope, and he had no respect for Han Solo, so he just let them do whatever they want to that character, and now he does. He's claimed to have some regard for Indiana Jones before, and how much he loves him. I don't, But participating in something like this, I'm skeptical. But it's not coming out till next year. I will watch it, and if it proves me wrong, if it makes me Bernard Hill's the man's name, right? Okay.
Yes, and we should say Bernard because,
Bernard.
Of course, I believe he's British. I could be wrong about that, but
Bernard
Hill.
Are you kidding me? Of course he's British.
Thank you, Chris.
They wouldn't cast a non-British guy. Anyway, so yeah. If it's good, hey, I'll say it. It's tough for me to believe it could be good with what's her face. Amy Waller-Bridge. But
it's just so funny though, the way these corporations think. You know what I'm saying? Like when I'm thinking about writing, one of the first things I do is think about my audience. My audience is always in my consideration. They're very high on the list. Well, and that's because I'm taking them on a journey. I want to move the furniture around in their mind. I want to tickle their brain in that one little spot. I want them to feel something. I want to immerse them, let them have an experience. And I can't help but think, that's the missing link for these corporations, right? Is
Exactly,
that
Larry.
they're not thinking about the audience. They're not thinking about, who is this for? And speaking of which, Larry said that he ordered
exactly
a copy
right.
of my book. Thank you, honey.
Oh,
I
thank
love
you, Larry. And he's right. The message comes first, but the message is destructive, and they don't
Yeah.
care that it's destructive. But you see, look, if you go watch 85, you should attend with a full medical team. Crack shot. Yeah, I'm so numb to it now. And Six says she'll be crying at the theater. She says
honey.
goodbye to Indiana Jones. I mean, I love the character as well, Six. But see, these people don't care. What you just said, these people don't relate to you. You're an artist. That means you're a creator. That means you're a storyteller, and that means you care about what people. When you write it, you want people to respond to it in a positive way and like what you do. This is corporate. These are corporate vampires that want to suck the blood out of it, but also some of them also have a severe and a serious social agenda that they're using these properties for, and they don't care if they leave a dead husk behind if it got their little message out there. So.
Yeah, I definitely see, like, as a social scientist and as someone who actually studied critical theory, and I specialized in critical theory in undergraduate and in graduate school, I definitely see critical theory here being used as an implement, as an instrument to sort of engage an otherwise unengageable audience. So the audience is onto the game. They realize that corporate writing teams are recycling this product. So how can they turn it into a political placebo? How can they make people feel as though they're making a political statement by attending or by promoting this sort of agenda that has been created by these corporations, and it's quite horrible to watch, because these people don't have any training in critical theory, and many of the things that they say and do are just absolute nonsense, and they don't follow through to the end of what critical theory is supposed to do. And certainly it should also be noted that critical theory's greatest criticism within academia, so the thing that makes academics go, oh, we can't use critical theory for this, is that it only thinks within itself. So it uses examination of what's happening within the text. It doesn't look outward. And so I would strongly caution these people who are using critical theory without knowing it and understanding it, to realize that the way to make critical theory happen in a good way is through the Socratic dialectic. And that is going to all the different sources of information, all the sources of quote unquote truth, entertaining them, presenting them to the public, and letting the public decide what the public thinks and feels about these issues. And so that's when critical theory is mobilized. That's when critical theory makes sense. If you leave critical theory alone to stew over that one text, nothing that is said about it can ever be tested. And Socratic dialectic tests what's true by questioning it through evidence. So I don't like that you have these, a lot of people in Hollywood, they quit school in junior high and high school. They've never studied this stuff. And so they put a psychologist on their little corporate writing team. And then they have all these people who quit school in junior high and high school. Many of them haven't even studied writing. They've just studied marketing and PR. And they're making these films. And it's horrible to see. It's so anti-intellectual. It's not actually helping. It's just dividing the public. And the end result is shite. No one's enjoying it.
Hey, don't blame me for that. What am I getting blamed
welcome,
for?
Mark.
Mark.
It's
Good
nice
to
to
see everybody.
Interrupt you when you were in your beautiful speech there, but hi everyone. Yep. So
welcome.
Yeah.
Oh, and while you're here, just at the beginning, at the outset, I would like to wish a very happy birthday to the offspring of Mark. He has a very handsome
happy
son.
birthday to young.
It's next week. But what his girlfriend did for him? It's an awesome surprise. This is take notes for your spouse or significant other. But she got him Rangers tickets for his birthday.
Oh, cool.
So took him home a week early to trick him, because his birthday's actually next weekend. She's like, well, we got to go home, made up something to come home, this weekend. And then
hey, Darth Scipio.
Hey,
Darth Scipio. Hey there.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool, man. So you had a little celebration tonight.
Yeah, just hanging out. We watched Guardians of the Galaxy again. Christmas special because no one wanted to watch it with me. I said, so I played a joke. I said the girlfriend wants to watch it and Eric wants to watch it, so they all loved it, of course, and
It
a
was
couple
pretty
of
good.
tears
Yeah,
were
I
shed.
enjoyed
Oh,
it.
it's so well done, and the way it
Boosh.
celebrates Christmas.
Yeah,
And,
I really enjoyed it.
yeah, and it's got a great message to it. It's not so much about the stuff; it's all the people. The look on Peter Quill's face at the end when they decorate nowhere with all that Christmas bling, and it was just such a nice watching it. When you watch it twice and it holds up the second time, and you know the dialogue and the funny lines. Forget about the Zagnuts, that kind of thing. It's
You wouldn't have to be a geek, would you?
Yeah, I
Hey,
wouldn't have to be a geek. Yeah.
Hey, Boosh McFadden, welcome. Good to see you. So anyway, Chris
Boosh.
put this up from the thing you were talking about
He
earlier.
did.
Raquel,
He went and got the exact Bernard Hill quote, and I just want to shout out to Chris Persia for being an outstanding wrench, and also for helping us to produce this show. I mean, there I was just discussing the mood, the tone of what Bernard said, and Chris went and got the exact.
Thank you, Chris.
Quote. So thank you so much, Chris.
And hail to Cardinal Sin. Thank you so much, buddy, for the super sticker.
Cardi!
Good to see you, man. The great Cardinal Sin, everybody.
Here's the sticker if you want to see it. It's the it's a cute little flying. Let me zoom in. Super
nice.
Super pair.
Super pair.
Super pair. Yep.
Thanks,
Cardi.
Thanks, Cardi. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a great stream tonight. Please go, everyone, to Cardinal Sin's channel if you have not already. Please go and subscribe. His link is in my description below, but if anyone can put the link up there.
Sweet.
Let's see. So anyway, I don't even know for what we were talking about
Indy?
there. The Indy 5 trailer. But yeah, it looks. Hello there, Michelle. Good to see you.
Hi, Michelle.
I saw the Guardians 3 trailer. And it looks, I don't know, man. Adam Warlock looks horrible. The movie might be okay. I think it might be a downer.
Well, I think,
but would they kill somebody?
Yeah, well, I'll touch on Indy 5 because I heard you talking about that when I was just as it was going on. But that really that was hard. That was pulled at the heartstrings. I guess Indy is special to me because that was a thing with me and my dad going to see all the Indy movies and hanging out together.
Looks terrible.
And the Crystal, I thought it looked great. The Crystal Skull ended up being a terrible movie. Now this could end up being a terrible movie, but they're playing it. The trailer for The Force Awakens. No, it's a flashback. I thought.
Well, the teaser, like I said, and I said this on Midnight Edge earlier, did it? Now that people are already jumping to the time travel conclusion. All I'm saying is because it was reported, he said, Raquel said, Critical Drinker said that. I'm saying that a lot of people are saying that they're jumping to the time travel conclusion, and the trailer does not say yes or no.
I read it was a flashback, and they're just showing an Indian adventure.
I asked that tonight. Remember 6? I asked that tonight. Was it were these flashbacks, or was the narrative movie saying it's a time travel, and nobody could give me the answer? Thank you, Darcy. What I'm saying is, it might be or may not be. Yeah. Look, I didn't think. I think the only things that look bad to me in the movie are the bits with in the season with the bits with what's her name, Phoebe Waller. She looks like she's going to be a
Fleabag. Eric's here.
Eric, what's up, buddy? Ron's Richard. She looks like she's going to be, a scene killer. But that said, again, I'm just saying I'm going to go. Look, I'm going to go see it. So you can't necessarily say that I'm, dogging it out. I'm just saying that I'm not that thrilled yet because of who's behind it. But 6 says, yay, I'm not the only one who loved the trailer. Well, there you go.
But look at what she says after.
I know. She said, I didn't see time travel in it.
Yeah.
Hey, that's why I want to be fair and be clear about this. We're talking about the reports that Doomcock has done in his videos, which he's done some wonderful videos about. I've not seen his latest one. And you brought up how Critical Drinker said on a tweet said that it's time travel.
That's how I know about it. I haven't watched the trailer. I haven't watched the teaser.
Right.
And I definitely don't follow the inside baseball videos or live streams. I'm totally not into it. I'm an academic. I'm a nerd. I'm not a cinephile. So
that's what. No. I understand. What I'm saying is that's why, as 6 just said, she didn't see time travel in it. I asked, if you remember 6, I asked on the panel tonight on over there at Mead, Do we know it's time travel? Are these flashbacks? We don't know. I mean, was the narrative of the film just showing old stuff? Because I don't know. The trailer doesn't tell me that. It is called The Dial of Destiny, and all the rumors say time travel. So let's be clear about that.
What I read was an interview with Ford, and he said he was de-aged, and they did a scene in the past. Now,
Right.
I didn't see time travel.
Well, he's not supposed to spoiler stuff.
He's not
either.
supposed to spoil it anyway.
Oh,
but
maybe it could be flashbacks.
I thought it was.
It
I
could be
assumed it was
flashback.
flashback.
Look at this beautiful comment from Larry. Time travel is usually used as a crutch for lazy writing. H.G. Wells did time travel right. Larry, I agree.
Yeah, I'm sick of time travel. So
yeah, but
that's exactly. I want this to be.
Like,
6 is right. I want 6 to be clear, and I love 6. The only thing we have is opinions. Now again,
which is
right
fun,
now we do right again, and rumors.
Yeah,
and rumors 6. So I'm not saying it is time travel. We were talking about if it is. I think it's a terrible idea to do time travel. That's what I'm saying.
I do have to say for the record that I am a pragmatist. I'm not somebody who likes all the rumor stuff. I don't enjoy it, and the speculation. But it is the prevailing opinion on Twitter, and so it's nice to hear from 6 because I'm the same way. Give me evidence. I cannot decide what I think until I see evidence. So I love that 6. Love you, baby.
Well, to be fair, again, to our good buddy Doomcock, who's been reporting on this for a couple of years now, he always says, these are rumors, take it with a grain of salt. So whether you like his videos or not, and he's fair about that. So he's saying that. And then
and it's fun to speculate for some people. Some people really enjoy that stuff. It's super fun for them.
Critical Drinker said, I mean, again, I didn't see his tweet, but if he said it's time travel, maybe it's still, unless he's seen the film, he doesn't know. And 6 says, and I'm not interested in just being right. I don't see it. Well, yeah. I mean, look. Yeah, totally. I absolutely see where you're coming from, 6.
Mm-hmm.
No one in our family room thought it was time travel, but I got to say that that trailer was very well put together. It tugs at the heartstrings.
Now, and the title "Dial of Destiny" kind of makes you. I can see where that would.
Yeah, I don't know, but I mean, of course, I never. Who thought we'd get aliens in the last movie, but what I thought was great
tonight. That is horrifying.
Interdimensional aliens, but yes.
When you see John Rhys Davies again, and that, and it makes sense if they've got read it was set in 1966, so if you've got an old indie reminiscing, and never say never again, the old hero, hey, we're going to call him out again, and one last time, and Harrison Ford's in incredible shape for 80 years old. I mean, it's just mind-boggling how good he looks for 80. And I was reading an article, I think I mentioned it last week, where they finished filming at 4 in the morning or 5 in the morning. He went to ride his bike for 50 miles. So he's an unbelievable 80-year-old. There's no doubt he looks, he looks old, but he's in great, in great shape, and we love. Well,
there's no doubt he's well preserved. I mean, he's Hollywood, right? So he's had every, injection, nip, tuck, bump, whatever the heck it's going on.
He looks. You just see Simon Cowell the other day, though. Oh my goodness gracious! So
thank you, Trevor Cunningham, for the sticker, by the way. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Trevor.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
So he still looks like Indy, thank God. At least he didn't go overboard. Whatever he's doing, he's got good genes, or like you said, I'm sure he's got the best care in the world. And
50
which
miles,
heck, I would don't blame anyone. If you want to stay looking your best, and that's part of his brand too. Obviously, is your looks as an actor.
Yeah.
But it just I almost brought a tear to my eyes. I'm just thinking of watching those movies with my dad. So and seeing the flashbacks and fighting the Yahtzees and it's just that character is just so great, and and why people loved it, a different generation, was because of the serials. Because you'd go to see, spend your whole Saturday at the movies or Sunday, and you'd watch those serials all day, the adventures, and that's what Indy is really a ripoff of.
Cognizant of the fact that that is a psychological ploy that is constructed by a corporation who has a psychologist and a marketer and a PR person on board who's playing into the nostalgia
they got me.
Epidemic.
Yeah.
So we have a generation that is now middle-aged, a lot of them who have waited to have children. So the vast majority of our group now, we have children, and they range in age. And so there's a lot of money there to be made off of nostalgia. So it's just very important for you to be cognizant of the fact that you're not attracted to the story or the writing or the adventure you're going on. It's the taste of the past. It's the feeling.
Nostalgia.
Oh
of course.
yeah.
Maddie's
Yeah.
daddy.
Look at
What's
sports-
up, Steve Mitchum, brother? Good to see you, buddy.
Hey, Maddie's daddy, Thor in Vegas. How are you, sweetheart? How's the baby?
He's
Well, I
getting
just want-
stalked, he said.
I just wanted to, I think it is very important that we've gotten back to the point where that Six is here, you know, being the voice of reason, and you are too, that we are still this is all a lot of speculation.
It is.
But here's the thing about that. I have no problem with watching a trailer and then commenting on it. If you see, because they're the ones putting trailers or teasers out there.
Yeah.
And for us to talk about it as geeks is perfectly natural. So sometimes
Sure.
people don't even want you speculating it. People, look, fans speculate on stuff. That just
It's
comes
true.
with being a fan.
Some people
So-
love it.
Yeah.
And we look at it, it's a year out. And the fact, without that kind of interest, these movies don't do well. So that some people have negative reactions, some people have a positive reaction. My reaction to that trailer was just sort of like, it's just like all teasers. It doesn't tell me anything. I only think my only negative reaction to it is I don't like what's her name, Phoebe Waller-Bridge and stuff like that. However, I don't do on this channel. We're just, as you see, I don't have a picture of it from it now. I don't advertise. Hey, we're going to be talking about that. I did not know we were talking about this till Raquel brought it up tonight.
You mean it's not Phoebe Cates
never
in the
thought-
movie?
Phoebe
Oh, darn.
Waller-Bridge.
No, it's
Oh, I thought it was
Fleabag.
Phoebe
I-
Cates.
To be serious, look, I'm seriously saying that I had no idea
Yeah.
we were talking about this tonight, so I don't advertise that we're talking about it. It's not like
Sorry.
some big thing. No. I'm not saying that. We're spontaneous here. It's the clubhouse. What I'm saying is I had no clue you had any interest in that.
Well,
So what let me just all I want to say is we're all being very spontaneous here, and anyone who doesn't like us being, if you don't like us kind of being negative about it, all I can say is we're not necessarily being, there's negative things about the trailer and there are positive things about it. Some, like Mark, really liked it. Raquel was just interested in it because she didn't know what was going on. She saw that tweet from Strinker. I'm kind of indifferent to it right now, but I'll go see it. In fact, I think Six, are we going to see it together? Let's go see it together. And I will be right there with Six. If I love it, I will, because Crystal Numbskull, when I first saw it, I walked out of the theater kind of like, I didn't want to admit how all the dumb stuff in it because I loved Indiana Jones so much. I was kind of like, no, was it really that bad? And it is a messed up movie. And even still, I didn't want to admit it because I love Indiana Jones that much.
But I'm going to
It
say
took
this
me a
again.
while.
It needs to be said because I want you all to be grounded here. We used to tell stories about ideas, and these stories have echoed through almost every age. Back to before we even had an alphabet, we were involved in orality. We were telling the stories, our mythos. So we would have these stories of Vikings and Greeks and even these beautiful German fairy tales. And when you're looking at these corporations, when we see them with the advent of the technology of television and film, these two things catapulted most of these huge corporations into the billions. And they did it by telling stories that we used to tell one another. And we changed the stories and we tweaked the stories and this is the magic of them. But it's very important now for everyone to realize that that's not what's happening. That's not the process. The process now is to actually sort of get you a little bit upset and sort of give you something to go, yeah, about as these stories are recast for a political design for consumption and corporate profit. Yeah. So it's just very important that people realize that it's a completely different mechanism. When you're sitting around the fire telling someone Grimm's fairy tales and you're doing it in your own way, you're an author and you are imparting culture and beauty and maybe a lesson about life. You're doing something really cool. What these corporations are doing, that it's divorced from that.
Right. And thank you, Mark, for bringing up Phoebe Cates. I knew we would get a Phoebe Cates.
That's what I thought. I heard Phoebe was, and that's whenever I hear Phoebe, that's so instantly I
Look,
think
if it
of
were
because
Phoebe
how
Cates,
old
would
I
I
am.
be complaining? No.
But I mean,
No.
it's I mean, they do manip, and 6 is a great comment too about I don't mind if I'm manipulated as long as I enjoy it or the psychology. I'm paraphrasing her quote.
Oh, I've
because
been that way
memories.
about trailers before. I've seen
But,
them
like-
go, I can't wait to see this.
Yeah, like the four Phantom Menace, I watched every little thing I could find, every bit of scrap of information get on the internet, and the movie was kind of ruined for me too. So I don't mind a trailer like this that kind of just teases the story, and
Well,
I kind of want to
just a
go in.
teaser. There'll be a long trailer next year.
Yeah, so some of the long trailer, I hate some of the. As much as I love trailers, I hate some of the trailers they do now because they give away basically the whole story, which drives me crazy. But like I was going to say, Phantom Menace, that was totally wrecked by all the hype. But so sometimes you get to see a movie and it's, it's a surprise. That's nice. Of course, this is going to be totally hyped all over the place. But Indy is just a character that's so loved, and you want it to be good too. As 6 was saying, you go into it and you want to have that movie be good. And talk about Thor. I heard you. There were $8 Thor coasters for sale on Amazon for Black Friday. I can't. I do have a lot of Marvel coasters, but and some DC ones. Actually, I'm getting my Batman coaster here, but I never thought, and it's inconceivable that you would tell me, Mark in 30 years ago buying Thor comics and loving them, that Thor's gonna become a superstar. He's got multiple movies, but someday they're gonna make a movie, and you're not even gonna want to buy it. So that's I almost did. I don't even know if I want to watch.
On their part.
I don't even know if I would ever want to watch that movie again.
I know I don't want to watch it again.
So here's my Thor. there's the
Kal-El
Thor
says this.
Loki. Yeah.
I saw that. I saw your video earlier. Kal-El says there's a big difference between being critical and being negative. You, Raquel, and Mark D. So you never cross that line. I appreciate that very much, Kal-El. I'll be honest with you. I am negative about some things sometimes, and I don't care who knows it. But my mind can be changed as well. In other words, it can be something that now, if I already hate it, I'm gonna be brutal to it. But when I see some things that I do look at it, I get a little negative going, that looks like I'm not. But I've had times when I did have maybe a bit of a negative reaction to a teaser trailer or something like that. And then when I watched it, I ended up going, oh, wow, kind of liked it. So I am malleable like that and adaptable like that. I try to be. And I try to evolve like that. But there are going to be times but either way, I believe criticism and being critical and critical thought's very important.
It is.
100%. Yeah.
Yep.
There's a difference between saying that, this actor or this movie's, this XYZ, I'm never going to, if you're going to criticize something, you've got to watch it, in my opinion. And then give you reasons for why you don't like something. So being negative,
I agree.
That's a great, that was a great description.
Thank you, Donnie.
Being negative is just saying, I hate this for no, or I'd try to get, I'm picking on my family again, like the Guardians of the Galaxy. I wanted the missus to watch it with me. I'm not going to watch that. I'm sick of all this Marvel stuff. Once the kids were home, I'm like, it's only 45 minutes. Come on. And she's like, that was so fantastic. I loved it. So that's the kind of thing where, you're being quote unquote negative. She wasn't that negative, but when you're negative about something where you're not open-minded versus being critical and saying why you don't like something, or why you can be critical about something and explain why you loved it too. So,
Mm-hmm.
You got to back it up.
Critical of stuff we love too.
Yeah.
I mean, for that matter, I am anyway. I'm a critic. I admit it.
I think it's very important because then you're approaching your thoughts in an intelligent way, and you can't do that until you have that Socratic dialectic, until you pose enough questions and present enough evidence that you feel like you're informed enough to decide. And can I just say that I think it's wonderful that you had your office window open today, and I know you did, because Restless Leg Spider-Man is just giving her. That's a Canadianism. Sorry about that, everyone. He's just giving her.
Give it absolutely 6. There, if you don't watch it, I mean, you don't have to watch. By the way, you don't have to watch everything. You can simply say that's not my bag. However, if you're going to criticize it and talk at length, it's one thing to just say, "Well, that's garbage." Well, did you see it? If you didn't see it, how do you know it's garbage? Is the thing people are always going to throw back to you. If you want, again, and if you don't care, that's fine. But I've got to have the info. I've got to inform myself if I'm going to not so much debate it, because these are opinions. I don't really debate whether something's good or bad, or whether I just tell you whether I like it or not. But but you do have to inform yourself, because I get picked on a lot for going to even see any of this modern stuff. But if I'm going to talk about it, you got to watch it or read it, as the case may be. That's just my opinion on that.
Yeah.
So,
Great, yeah.
and of course, Max Redstone says, Kate Hines says, negative, 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 master. Affirmative, master. That's all I can say when I do my K9 impression. Sorry. Sorry.
Got another gift from Cardi Boss.
Cardinal Sin. Thank you so much, buddy, for the $4.99 super chat. He says, I love the Iron Man movies, but I hate the fact that they think if they love one Iron Man suit, they'll love even more. They have a lot of Iron Man suits, don't they? I love the first movie. I don't really like the 2 and 3 personally.
You know, everyone here is chiming in and they're saying, you know, I don't like to criticize something unless I've watched it. But it's also important for folks to recognize, too, that there could be types and genres of things that you don't agree with. And so you decide to abstain.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah,
I think
that's what
it's
she
a
said
very
right here.
dangerous position. And I'm just saying this as devil's advocate here. I realize that there's an extreme on both ends and then a happy medium. But if you get yourself into a situation where people are saying, well, you have to watch it. Well, if it's corporate, if it isn't made by an author, and, you know, I make this distinction quite a lot when I'm on with Clubby and Mark. But when it's an author and you tell me I have to watch it or I have to read it, I agree. I really need to engage with the material in order to decide. But when it comes down to corporate writing teams and the corporatization of culture and the politicization of culture for you know, this divisive behavior by corporations in order to create this political placebo effect in the public at large and cause these terrible peripheries in social media, I don't feel like I need to engage with the material. I have seen the pressers, I watched the initial parts of the filth, and I just think it's preposterous. It's absolutely ridiculous. At one point, they even got Captain Picard's age wrong. He's supposed to be something like 127 on one time. And he goes shooting through the air like a missile. He goes for like a kilometer long
that's
ride, like a cruise missile, then gets up and runs upstairs. So it's very important also, though, that when you get caught up in being a geek and you love something and you care for it and you nurture it and you become a part of the pop culture surrounding it, just make sure that you're also not being manipulated to blindly consume something so that you can have an opinion on it. When I see people like I believe her name is Viola Davis, saying, if you don't see this film, ... And that's I don't have to see a corporate film to know that I want nothing to do with it. And you should not feel obligated as a person to purchase anything from a corporation in order to have an opinion on it. You reserve that for authors, individuals, books, and people who are actually creating, not just recycling for money and trying to elicit political and negative feelings from you.
Well, I like what I'm pretty much. This is the way I look at it as well. You know, when Six says, you can say the trailer looked like trash, so I didn't watch it. But in order to have an informed opinion, you've got to watch it. I do agree with that. I think that's an informed. But like I said, if you're not interested in it, or also one thing that does work is, I mean, if it's something that is near and dear to your heart, like Star Trek, and you know some of your friends have you know, people that you trust pretty much on Trek that you're fairly in lockstep with, not on everything, but will tell you how bad P Hard is or STD is. That's good enough. You don't have to watch STD. They might go, look, if in other words, someone can tell you, well, this and happened in it, and it's Star Trek, and you as someone who knows and loves Star Trek can go, well, if they did that, then I don't ever need to see that. That's garbage because so they're extenuating circumstances with everything. And so I get that.
Well, there's also
feel loyal.
P Hard's another one.
Creators. Feel loyalty for creators, and make sure you have that delineation in your mind as a consumer. Are you engaging with an artist? Are you engaging with an author? Or are you engaging with a corporation? And just like Six said in the chat, well, you know, Raquel, you're right. I don't like country music. I don't need to listen to every country music song to reassure myself that I don't like it. So yeah, that is a part of it, but it's also about being a savvy consumer. Please know the distinction betwixt a creator, an artisan, a person making something for your enjoyment, and a corporation that is trying to get money out of you by hook or by crook. And certainly in this generation, through elicitation of political placebo, which is very dangerous because now you are working on political propaganda and othering people to the point where you can have a completely divided society. And that's dangerous. You know, it's very dangerous.
One thing too is that there's genres too that, you know, people don't. I know you don't like slasher movies, or certain people don't like horror movies. So that's one thing to say. Oh, this is, you know, this crap. Or channel my dad, Mark, that's crap. Why are you watching that crap? It's so ridiculous. Men in spaceships and funny suits. This is garbage. Why are you watching it? You know, he'd make fun of me, but he'd walk in the room and what's this crap with these aliens with these heads and with these ridges on their foreheads? Yeah, but he would just, you know, tease you. But you know, Raquel's got a, you know, much better, you know, making a much broader, how do I explain it in the right words, but more eloquent way of saying what I'm trying to say too. But you know, when you've got, you know, certain things aren't for you, right? And you want to support those authors and writers that are true to what they've written, and you just can't take, like, I really don't want to see this new Wakanda movie. I just, you know, and I can't.
I don't blame you. It's bad, man.
I haven't seen it.
Das Wolfen.
Hey, Das Wolfen, and it's kind of heartbreaking too in some ways. And when I see Namor, the way they portrayed it, you know, nothing, you know, just that's not, to me, that's not Namor. Growing up reading, you know, probably thousands of comics with Namor in them. So, you know, hey, if they own the property, they can do what they want, but I can also choose not to give them money and go see the movie. So
yeah, no, I got you, absolutely. But yeah, so that's true. Every podcast in channel wants to get clicks by providing a commentary on corporate shows. I see very little about promoting indie work except Film Thread. Film Thread is a great channel. I highly recommend everybody.
I had to put that up there because Trevor gets it. Trevor gets it.
Film
There's a very fine line between nurturing your favorite pop culture and being slavish or being beholden to it in a way that becomes negative, especially when it doesn't represent the things that you care about, and it has drastically changed. You're no longer engaging with story, you're engaging with political decisions, and you're engaging with propaganda. It's very dangerous, and I appreciate your post, Trevor. Really enjoy it.
And Chris Gore has been fantastic. I've been watching him for years on G4, so it's great to see him get this audience. I remember, was he on with Paulie? I think it was on with Paulie.
Well, he and Paulie last night. He and Paulie and Robin Meyer Burnett and Gary and Nerdrotic were all together. They took a big selfie together at a place out in LA last night.
That was a very cute picture.
Yeah, but very cool.
Yeah, but Chris Gore, Chris Gore didn't want to stream really. He came on. I think it was Paulie. I don't want to get this wrong, but I believe he came on Paulie's channel, and we kept telling him. People were telling him, "Oh, you're so great. You know, your opinions are so interesting. Well, why don't you do live streams on your channel?" He's like, "But who's gonna watch? No one's gonna watch that." So I think it was, if my memory, sometimes faulty memory is correct on this one, but I think it was him on Paulie kind of got, and he got such a good response that, which is great.
Gary every week now.
Oh yeah, but this was like 6 months ago or a year ago. But it's great to see him, find this, because I've always enjoyed watching him on G4, and I backed his Kickstarter for the G4. So he's and you can tell he's not, he's not one of these shills who's going to tell it like it is, and like you were saying, he does cover a lot of the indie stuff and the small films, and those are some of the best movies these days. And unfortunately, everyone's going for either the big blockbuster or for an Oscar. There's nothing in between. There's no, like, to throw out one of my favorite movies is The Sure Thing. That's not getting made today.
No.
classic Rob Reiner movie, you know, romance, comedy. My opinion, it's one of my top 10 films, but would a corporation make that movie today? There's no superheroes. Back then there were no big stars. You know, basically an unknown director, you know, with some Hollywood pedigree, of course, but you know, so these little important film, you know, I shouldn't say important, but important in terms of the, you know, entertainment and culture. Not everything has to be a massive superhero film or an Independence Day.
Apocalypse Now would not be made today.
Oh, probably not
No
either.
way.
Yep.
Space Odyssey would not be made today.
No. There we got Cardinal Sin with another 4.99 super chat.
Cardi.
Thank you so
Cardi.
much, Cardi. Appreciate you, buddy. He says, I just watched the Indy 5 trailer and was disappointed to see that Mads Mikkelsen isn't even in it. He's not in the trailer. I guess, yeah. They didn't show him in the trailer. I watched it and it went by so
I didn't
fast.
see him.
It was right before we went on tonight at Midnight's Edge, so maybe I didn't watch the trailer closely enough. So,
watched it
Oh,
twice.
Michael's
Thank
here,
you.
and he's left a wonderful comment. Boss, go.
hey,
grab
Retro
that.
Blasting, what's up, buddy? My great friend Retro Blasting says, thank God you're all streaming tonight. It's the only place to get away from the latest fanboy garbage and listen to people talking about what they want to discuss instead. Yeah, I mean, thank you, buddy. I really appreciate that.
Thank
And by
you.
the way, next Wednesday night, Retro Blasting's hanging out with me. Can't wait. We're gonna just talk about it.
Awesome.
Talk about anything. So looking forward to that, my brother. And yeah, I mean, like I said, we'll talk about anything here on the Clubhouse, you know, and that was something of interest. But usually we're about to start talking about some old stuff in a minute.
We are, because when the present fails you through corporate greed and corporate pablum, it's time to step forward with some classics to warm your heart and to make you smile again.
Yeah, because why would they? I don't know, what is the deal with today releasing 3 big trailers, teasers, whatever. It was kind of strange, but
What was the other third one? Guardians, Indian,
Transformers.
Oh, Transformers. So
Yeah, I mean that's the one that Tom wanted to comment on tonight. So it's another
is that
Transformers
the
movie,
same,
buddy. Yay!
same gang, same
Well,
director?
you know, I'm no
Transformers?
cinephile, but I will tell you, as a regular person who studies social science, that I get the impression, whether I am correct or not is another matter entirely, but I sort of feel as though, as a normie in these circumstances, or a nerd in these circumstances, that it's December 1st. And there's no Christmas movie. There's no big blockbuster everybody wants to line up down the block for. What happened here? So maybe that has something to do with it. And once again, you know, I'm not a geek. I don't study film or film trends or any of this other stuff. But I do, as a normie geek, normie nerd, I mean, I'm sort of wondering where all the Christmas magic went. Usually by November, I'm stoked. Like right after Halloween, they usually start pumping out these amazing Christmas blockbusters, and everybody gets their kids together, maybe their cousin or their girlfriend or their boyfriend. They grab popcorn, they put extra butter on it, and they line up, and maybe they stand in line for an hour, and then they go watch a movie. And there's nothing that I want to line up for. Where are they? And here we are at December 1st. So maybe that's why all 3 at the same time. I don't know.
Hey, what are the big movies? What are the big movies?
Home Alone 6. Home Alone 6, Lost in Cultural Mediocrity. Absolutely.
Brutal
Can't wait for that
and
one.
beautiful. That is brutal and beautiful. Chef's kiss.
Love it.
Mwah.
Oh dear. What'd you say, Mark?
No, what are the big movies for December? What is, you know, people in the chat can
I don't
help
know.
us out,
These
there
trailers
anything?
are for next year. I don't know what's coming out now. I mean, I don't know. Hey, 6. Oh, 6, you're too kind. Thank you
Look
so
at
such,
this
my dear.
beautiful gift for you.
Oh,
She's such
you're
a sweetheart.
$10 super chat from you're too kind. Thank you, 6. He says, Mark, before you arrived, we were discussing what makes a trailer teaser trailer, a teaser versus a trailer. Can you chime in on that topic, please? Hi, Raquel. I love you.
I love you too, baby.
I love
thank
you too. Nobody wants to
Sure.
hear his opinion. He's just an engineer.
Oh, yeah,
No, go
with
ahead.
these engineers with all these big robots flying around, and looks like they got Mecha Kong in the. Oh, thank you, 6. No, I'd love to
Hey,
chime
go
in.
for
Yeah,
it. Go for it.
I've always loved trailers, but I love a trailer that wants you wanting more and something that doesn't give away specific scenes. Like, for example, I remember Iron Man watching that trailer, and then the scene where the tank fire, where there's a missile fired at him, and he's near a tank, and he kind of sidesteps that missile. You know, that was in the trailer, so that would have been a great moment to have seen, you know, live in the theater and not give that great moment away. The other one is, you know, Chewie, we're home. As much as I have disdain for the Force Awakens, that was probably the best scene in the whole movie and the whole trilogy. Probably that's the only good, you know, good line, and that was ruined by the trailer. Really, you know, they're playing at your heartstrings and nostalgia. So I don't think a trailer should give away any major plot points. I think a teaser makes you want to see the movie and not spoil too much, but just gives you the over plot line. And 30 seconds should be all that you need. When you go to the movie theater now and you have some of these trailers seem like they're 3 minutes, I'm like, I don't need to see the damn movie now. I got
Forever.
The Indy 5 trailer teaser's almost close to a minute.
Yeah, but they didn't really give away
144.
Right. It doesn't show plot points. So I get you. It's just supposed. So that's a teaser. That was the big thing we were talking about earlier on me. That is that we kept mistakenly saying trailer. Well, it does say teaser on the, you know, when you watch it on YouTube. So it's a teaser. You're absolutely right.
But trailers, trailers sometimes, you know, that was borderline maybe teaser trip, but I think overall a teaser. But and the movie's doing it's hurting themselves too by giving away these big moments, especially in you know, quote unquote blockbusters. So
yes,
I just had the Transformers trailer playing, you know, with no sound. And of course, those are usually mindless action fests. So of course, the special effects all look good, but how are they going to integrate the humans into that one? We'll see. But
it looks like the Beast Wars type thing. It's got like the gorilla, the gorilla Transformers. I don't know much about Transformers. But.
Yeah. So that kind of trailer, I didn't pay attention, obviously, because we're on the show now. But I just wanted to glance at it. But you know, that kind of thing where it's, hey, I can't wait to see that, and please don't give away the cool stuff in the trailer. So that's my pet peeve, and I always get and you always have to sit through the damn trailers at the movie now. Well, the good thing is now, thank God, they've got the seats where you can you know, buy your seat and reserve your seat. So now I just go to the movie 20 minutes late, you know, or get there on time, buy my popcorn, and then by the time I sit down, I don't have to be spoiled by all these trailers.
Okay, so she gave $10. So now I'm gonna lay it all out on the line. As a social scientist, I think it's absolutely bizarre that regular people who are just regular average Joes by the millions are discussing on YouTube by the millions the difference between a teaser and a trailer. This is how you know we've gone astray. We're not telling stories anymore. We're in the business of you know, these corporate transactions. And, you know, here we have Larry just busting through it here. And I'm going to put him up on the marquee because I love this statement. He says, Larry says, I can't believe all the hippies, anarchists, and weirdos completely support the billion-dollar corporations. I want to say something to this.
I can.
I don't talk about sex, religion, or politics in public. I think it's rude. I'm Gen X, and I was raised that those are taboo topics that make other people feel uncomfortable. You don't talk about them in public. Otherwise, you're being a rude a-hole. But I will say this. On Twitter, when things transferred over from Jack to a corporation to Elon, I noticed that a whole bunch of people on the left, and I'm left myself, but evidently there's a different version of that now, a completely different definition. But I took them,
classical liberal.
I took them to task for the fact that as an academic, as a social scientist, as a person who is pursuing this to a doctoral level, I found it baffling that people who claim to be on the left were saying that a corporation was delivering the only method of democracy and free speech. I think that this is one of the most dangerous things that has ever been put into the public sphere. I think it's absurd. I think it's anti-intellectual. I think it's intellectual suicide. I think it is absolutely crazy that the presupposition is that a corporation would be the caretaker and the deliverer of free speech and democracy. That is absurd. It is patently absurd, Larry. And I love your comments, sir. Love it.
Keely Chow, roll tide. Good to see you there, Keely. My friend Retro Blasting Michael says, what did he say? Says, I'm serious. Until today, if you'd asked me who I'd love to become, I'd have said Indy. Now, my answer is Lara Croft. Loved them both, but Lara is now tops for me. I love her. Of course, if you look like her, dude, I would be.
Let's not go there.
Like her, if you start looking like her, I'm going to be staring at you a lot. Just letting you know.
Stop staring at her eyes, Clobby.
In seriousness, though, I understand what he's talking about because Lara Croft. I just don't think she's. I mean, I didn't see the last movie. I never really played a lot of the games, but I know of her, of course. And from what I understand, even though a lot of people didn't like that last movie they did, or I don't know if she's been ruined in video games or not yet. But apparently, she hasn't been as badly messed up as Indy now. So, according, I guess I don't know that because I don't follow it, but I do love Laura, of course. Who doesn't?
I found an article with all the releases.
Her eyes
in
are up
December.
there. Look at 6.
If you, I can show that if you want. The article with the movies in December might be fun.
Oh, please do, because Ezra Goldstein and several others have the same query I have. Where is the holiday magic?
Here it is.
Okay. Trevor says, I still want to be Indy. The Shadow is a close second. The Shadow, there's the Shadow. Yeah. I still want to be Indy, but just the one from the from Raiders.
So this is
these are the biggest movies coming out this year in
Box Office Mojo. Yep. So
Avatar.
Yep. So we've got Santa as a Violent Killer.
J-Man just went to see that tonight. He gave it 4 out of 10.
I'm sorry that I took the Lord's name in vain, and I'm sorry that if I offended anyone. I should not have done that, but I was just taken aback there for a second. I'm an agnostic, and I do not want to upset anyone.
No, you're fine.
Oh my gosh! What is this?
It's
so this actually looks kind of this looks fun and a silly. It's like Santa Claus meets Die Hard. David Harbour. It's a over the top crazy Christmas movie. The guy who did Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunter direct. So I mean, yeah, don't take your kids to that one, obviously.
No.
But
yes, he says. By the way, Michael says Laura has never had a good movie, but pound for pound, her video games and stories have been have more wins than indie film yarns. Yep, I have heard that absolutely. But yes, this our buddy J-Man, for those who are interested in Violent Night, he gave it a 4 out of 10. He just got back from watching it.
Oh, 4 out of 10. Oh, I thought you said.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's too bad.
What?
Because J-Man likes the horror genre.
And he likes that kind of thing. So yeah.
Yeah, he likes that. Yeah. So
He loves that kind of stuff.
FYI.
Yeah. Oh,
Just
that's too bad because it looked like a fun. I'd have to go to confession 20 times over and don't tell the nuns that I grew
that's
up.
what he gave it. I'd have to run the check back to make sure, but I'm pretty sure that's what he said.
Okay.
Wow.
And this
still
is
there, J-Man. Let me make sure I got that right.
Okay, so this is a sad movie. Same-sex couple dealing with a terminal cancer diagnosis. I guess this is probably an Oscar play of December. Yep, spoiler alert.
Oh,
so that's pretty sad that F cancer. So that's all I got to say. But could be a good movie.
The Whale. That's Brandon.
He's gonna get an Oscar for this.
They made a movie about me.
He's a lovely man. This person
they stole my
Brendan
story.
Fraser person is a lovely man.
They made a movie about me. Look, it's my story. Good Lord. I didn't give them permission to that. Yeah, go ahead.
Clobby,
so we got this movie's Shin Kicks. This movie's been getting a lot of good press, and Brendan Fraser's been getting very well received. He's talked about
it's depressing me even looking at that. Move it.
Difficulties.
It's very upsetting, though.
I'm getting depressed.
It's very upsetting. That's
for
very
Christmas.
upsetting.
But that's another Oscar movie for December. A lot of Oscar movies.
Father Stu Reborn.
Real life boxer becomes a priest. Oh, so R-rated film. Now received a PG-13 cut, so the nuns will let me see that.
Wait a second. Is this from last year? I've already seen this film.
I guess it's getting a bigger release now.
It's getting yeah. You know what they do? They release these for December to get Oscar play.
Okay.
Yeah. You're right.
Right.
So
this is the
20 million.
Oscars don't mean crap anymore.
This is not a corporate.
I'm getting picked by 2 women now.
This is based on a true story that actually happened with a Catholic priest. And it's not my cup of tea, but I did watch it with my husband, and it's not corporate garbage. It's based on a true story.
So it's
I'm
a
getting
good, it's a
kicked by
good
both
movie,
of you
you're
now,
saying.
Raquel. Look at that. 6. Damn. Ouch. Ow.
I'll quit it.
So,
yeah,
yeah.
but PvP says, you know, I don't want to see a movie about cancer at Christmas. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
agree.
Yeah, I
hon.
can't blame you there. This garbage. Look, I understand some people like the first Avatar. I hate it. I got dragged to it, kicking and screaming, and hated it. I'll never watch it again. Dances with Smurfs, whatever the hell you want to call it. Some people like it. That's perfectly fine. How it became the most successful movie of all time is ridiculous for me. But this is I just I'm anti. This is not a movie that I'm disinterested in. I'm anti-interested in it. Like I'm actually opposed to being interested
Well,
in it.
I've already seen it.
You have.
You know James
Yeah.
Cameron personally? How you
No,
should.
it's that I saw the first one, and
Yeah.
when I
I got it.
watched the trailer
Stu.
for this thing, or whatever you want to call it, the Come See Me film,
Wait a minute.
short,
Right.
it's the same film as the first film.
I'm sure it will be. Well,
Yeah, but this is
retro
underwater.
blasting,
This is the Thunderball
It's-
version.
It's the way of water. Yeah. The what? Wait, you're telling me I have to see Father Stu? Wow. Retro
No, I
blasters tell
think
me I have
he's
to watch it.
making fun of that guy that's in the movie. What's his name? Mark Wahlberg.
Wahlberg,
I
yeah.
think that's the way that gentleman
Oh,
talks.
gotcha.
So
6 bought her a ticket. 6 bought her tickets for Avatar 2 Electric Boogaloo. Hey, that's okay. 6. Are you gonna? As long as I hope you enjoy it. I really do. I hope you're the only one that
is this
enjoys
movie
it. Though.
normal or is it only 3D? Because when I saw the trailer, teaser, corporate, commercial for it, whatever you want to call it, it said that it was 3D.
Well, it is 3D, but I'm sure they'll have
I don't know.
standard,
6 is it?
standard
6 is
move.
it 3D?
I hate 3D movies.
Well,
Well, the
she and
3D in
Donnie are
IMAX
both
is
excited about it.
gorgeous, I
Look,
thought.
I want to say that my friends those of you who are excited about it, it's fine. I mean, look, don't listen to me. Go, not that you would anyway, and you shouldn't. It's no condemnation. It's just me. I personally don't like it, but I hate the first movie. That's all. So
I thought the first movie was like a 4 out of 10. Like it wasn't like there was so much hype behind it, and then when I finally watched it, I was like, okay, all right, okay, and
Curly
now
fries.
it's more of the same.
she's curly fries, no popcorn, no M&Ms, just curly fries. They have to. We gotta have more than that. Come on now.
Yeah.
If I'm going to sit to this movie for 4 hours with you, and even though I can't because we live, the only person I would sit to this movie with is you, 6, but we can't, obviously we live so far away, but I'd have to have more than curly fries.
Yeah.
Well,
gotta
I mean,
have
I got to
more.
say, as the engineering nerd, the techniques and the special effects, and when I did see it in IMAX, the IMAX projection's a lot brighter, so it was much better technology in the theater. So, I want movie making to move forward and have great tech, and if they're going to get you out to the theater, hey, if they have 3D that really works well, that's not annoying and doesn't give people headaches, that might be something that works pretty well. Because my home projector, I have 3D glasses, and now 3D is pretty much dead at home, but I have Guardians and a bunch of movies I was buying on 3D, and you set the projector up in the backyard, and you put the 3D glasses on. It is pretty cool. It's when it works well, it's fun. But that's not
JT
going to
Kirk,
make the
I
movie
totally
good, though.
agree. And it's weird that you're saying that because I say that to people all the time. It's super annoying. Oh, Scuba Pete's here.
Hey,
Scuba Pete, what's up, bro? Good to
Well, we
see you. By the
reviewed-
way, curly fries, can I get cheese on them at least?
Yeah, you can get cheese.
Well,
yeah.
if you're going to have curly fries, you have to have tube steak. That's a hot dog. And it's got to have chili and cheese
Wow.
on it.
Hail all, I'm underwater all week. Don't want to see Avatar 2, Pruny Boogaloo. What? Pruny Boogaloo?
Well, Scuba, we were reviewed
Funny.
Thunderball on Nick's channel on Tuesday night on Toxic Tuesday. I'm like, we should have had Scuba Pete here. He's the underwater guy, and those underwater
that's
scenes
true.
in Thunderball are amazing. But yeah, so I mean, the tech. There's one aspect is the tech and the CGI, and Avatar was groundbreaking in a lot of ways, just like James Cameron,
Right.
his underwater film, The Abyss, was incredible in terms of. But that was a much better story,
Abyss.
though.
I like the Abyss way
Abyss
better.
was good.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Some
abysmal,
people have
but-
problems with the ending of the Abyss, and then he. But I thought it was okay, but he did have a different ending. I don't know if you've ever seen that big special edition thing, but yeah.
I'm
It's
not sure if I have or
Good
not,
movie.
but that was like a thing at that time, though. Like, remember Leviathan and like
That year, Deep Star 6, they had 3 movies. But
Yeah.
see, The Abyss, one of them got made, was bouncing around Hollywood. So whatever the big budget one was getting made, The Abyss, they went and made a few cheapies. Like I'm so dumb, I actually went to see Leviathan just because Peter Weller was in it.
Me too.
Then it was Deep Star 6. But yeah.
And
Anyway,
I have to
continue,
say, in Avatar 2, Stephen Lang was really good, and he's actually a friend of mine.
Stephen Lang's a great actor,
and he's a friend of mine. Is like very good friends with him. So I was almost like, can you get
like
some
Stephen
action
Lang.
figures signed for me? And I never did. I probably should, but
he's
he's a great actor, and he was very good in that. He did a nice job. But yeah, it's I thought Avatar was like a C+ to a B- to me, but it's some of when you first see it and the tech is so cool, and the visuals and the special effects, then that kind of you rate it higher than when you get home and you're kind of thinking about it. Yeah, the story was pretty derivative and not so special. I thought the like the helicopter scenes are really good. Or those they're not helicopters, those the hovercraft with the 4 blades. Mechanically, and I thought those are so cool. I love the idea of those, but again, it doesn't make a great movie. But I think people were kind of looking for the next Titanic in some ways, and I got a ton of hype.
It felt like a cartoon to me, though, Mark. I got to be honest. I felt like I was at a kid's show.
Yeah.
And Chris Persia has some insight here that I really like, because this is Chris Persia, a very intelligent person, trying to look into the mind of the creator here. And, we do have James Cameron, who is an actual creator behind this film, and we should say that. But he says, Raquel, it feels like Cameron is trying to make his own version of The Last Airbender with the Na'vi. First was air, this one's water, the third will likely be fire, and then, of course, the fourth being earth.
He's already made the third one, I think.
I think that's quite lovely. I really, really love that comment very much, Chris Persia. Thank you so much for that, sweetheart.
Thank you, dude. Michael says, I thought I was eating a tube steak once, but turned out it was a pool noodle bologna. Not exactly what's classy. Yes.
I love bologna. Bologna's good. Have you ever had a bologna sandwich?
I should give you shin kicks for calling it a tube steak. Or they're hot dogs, for God's sake. Tube steak just sounds wrong somehow.
No, that's what we call them here. You gotta have a tube steak, and you gotta have chili and cheese on it. I mean, if you're going to the movies, you're gonna have curly fries. I mean, come on, let's play along with 6. You know what I'm getting when I go to the movies, Clubby? I'm getting a big old bucket of popcorn. I'm gonna ask for 5 layers of butter throughout, using the little hand signal that you have to use. I'm gonna get a big old bag of M&Ms. I'm gonna get a pail of cherry Coke.
You're worse than me. Wait, I mean, good God.
Do you, Raquel, do you use the butter and the straw trick that my son taught me? So when you want to get the butter to the bottom of the
no, you
popcorn?
just ask for the layering. You walk up and you just
can't get that where we are. We don't get
you're a cheerleader.
Get that in the
and
state.
just do the layering thing.
That ain't happening. So here we have butter dispensers. So you get. My son's told me this great trick. You put the straw into your popcorn, and then you pour the butter through the straw, and then you get the layering. Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah, but that's terrible. Isn't there somebody that you could complain to for that?
No, because the butter's not behind the counter anymore. It's self-serve now.
That's
and it's actually
bunch
butter
of BS.
flavor. It's not real butter. They always
I'm
say
so
butter,
happy I'm
butter flavor.
Canadian. I walk right up there and I make the layering 1, 2, 3, 4. Sometimes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they do the nice layer for me. I get lots of butter on there. When you have a bag of popcorn, you should with M&Ms. You should have at least 10 napkins. If you don't have 10 napkins, you're not eating popcorn.
Wow. Tim's Talk. What's up, buddy? And yes, classic
Hey,
comics, and yes, Maddie's daddy. I'll tell Raquel later.
What did I do?
I'll tell you later.
Okay.
Anyway, just remind me.
Pail of cherry Coke.
Pail of cherry Coke. Indeed,
Right?
You can never have enough cherry Coke. It's my favorite.
My
when
friend
done
would.
right, when done well.
We go to the movie theater and they had like a triple extra large, and my friend would go to the guy's like, he's like, what size do you want? He'd say, I want the bladder buster. Like, you're not gonna be able to make it through the movie with that soda, right? You're gonna have to leave. Yeah. they had like, only an American gets 64 ounces of soda, right?
Yeah, but yeah, I'm just saying that I
No, no, no.
would go to the movies with 6. I would do the curly fries with her, but I'd have to have a chili cheese tube steak. I would need
Ah,
possibly a bag of chips afterwards.
right.
But my go-to is 10 napkin popcorn. If you can't make 10 napkin popcorn with a bag of M&Ms and a pail of cherry Coke, you're not going to the movies, and that's that. I also have a rule about cheeseburgers. It should require 5 napkins. If your cheeseburger does not require 5 napkins, you are not eating a cheeseburger. You are eating a substandard meal. The end.
Well, there you go. Let's finish. What else you got there, Mark? We'll take
we
care of
got
the last
Puss
of the
in-
movies, and we'll get to
Puss
the
in
old
Boots:
movies.
The Last Wish, December 21st. So maybe
Ah.
this will do well.
I
Shrek
guess.
franchise, Antonio Banderas, Selma
Him
Hayek,
again. Okay.
Florence Pugh. Yeah, so that could do well. I mean, Shrek was huge. Shrek 2, it's 441 million. Yeah.
Yeah, I like a lot of butter also there.
I mean,
butter.
come on.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see here. What do we got?
Margot Robbie.
Babylon. Margot
What's
Robbie.
this?
Would just like to
Again.
say to everyone in the
Tobey
chat that
Maguire.
Scuba Pete married his butter popcorn girl. Met her at the theater. She put enough
Nice.
butter on his popcorn that he married her. Way to go, Leslie. Love you, honey.
That's how to catch a
Wow.
man.
That's
Butter
right.
his
Friend of
popcorn.
a popcorn.
That's how you catch
Hey,
a girl,
popcorn
too.
girl?
Yeah.
What's a popcorn girl?
Well, she
Oh,
caught
so-
him with the
So let's see, Margot Robbie, and do we care about this thing?
No.
I love-
historical
she's hot and
comedy
all, but-
epic. Brad
Yeah.
Pitt. Is it another Oscar contender, allegedly? 3 hours.
I don't know.
When I saw Babylon,
3
I'm like, oh,
hours.
Babylon 5 is coming back as a movie.
No. 3 hours, and yes, it must be. Oh my goodness, this is a movie
I
about,
want to dance with somebody
about
December
Whitney
23rd.
Houston.
Yeah, well, tragic story. Yep. So,
What is all
someone who was,
They think everyone's going to go see all these sad movies and
No.
Christmas? Okay.
well,
How is
her
it Sally
fans will go
Picker
see
already
it. but-
said no one's going to see any of this crap.
Yeah, I don't think this will be streaming probably pretty quickly.
Yeah,
too. I think
everything's
someone put in the
streamed. It's a
chat.
different time now. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
People wait for the stream. I mean, I like going to a movie too, but lately the only ones I go to are garbage.
Well,
Sorry.
Elvis only made 150 million. That was excellent. Elvis. Bohemian Rhapsody, that got a lot of great press. Only 216 million. So, Rocket Man only made 100 million.
Yeah, but is that aggregated data for like today, like for inflation?
Well, that was a pretty recent movie, though. Elton John, Rocket Man, 2019. Queen was 2018. So, within the last few. And Elvis was just this year. So, if Elvis can only make 150 million.
Elvis the pelvis.
Yeah, so let's see. I mean, Grandma wanted to see that movie. Let me tell you, they took her to see that. So that was a fun night out with my grandma.
So we done with
grew up
the
seeing Elvis. I think
Christmas movies?
I think that's it. Yep.
So
Yeah.
to answer my earlier question, Mark has unfurled all of the evidence. So the answer to my question is Jack, SHIT, folks. There is no Christmas blockbuster for you to get excited about, for you to take your whole family to. There's nothing to do for Wren's Day, for St. Stephen's Day. You should be going out and seeing a movie and having a good time like a good Irish person should. No, you're going to be at home streaming because they're ruining the cinema experience.
Well, you got Avatar. Come on. They're counting
you
on you
don't.
all taking the
I
I
family to
already
go see
saw
Avatar.
Avatar.
Well, that's what they're counting on you to go see. I think Avatar and
Well,
Puss in
some
Boots.
people will. Not
That's the
me.
two. And
Anyway.
Disney's last movie that was allegedly based on pulp comics from 50s
I love it
sci-fi
when you
totally
say
tanked at the box. I haven't seen the movie, but that one was going to lose $100 million or more.
Well,
so that
the
was the
hell
other
with
last animated. So we'll see what Puss in Boots does. But yeah, you're right, Rick. I'm teasing, but that's the two. Those are the two movies. If I was hey, that's what they would say. I'm assuming that's for families to go see Puss in Boots and Avatar. But we'll see. We'll see what happens, right? Box office doesn't lie. So
Yeah,
Absolutely
JD Kirk,
six.
I'm not seeing a movie with that idiot in it, that Will Smith moron. First of all, he sucks. He sucks. He has sucked since time immemorial. Like talentless hack, ridiculous person. And now he assaulted someone who's actually funny and talented, somebody who actually has class and is an
In front of
actual
everybody,
nice person.
in front of the world.
He assaulted him in front of everyone. Just why? The guy has no talent. He's loony, and he's assaulted someone and was not criminally charged. I'm not going to see any of his movies. And plus, why would I want to see any of his movies anyways? The guy's a friggin' nincompoop.
Well, if you use that criteria, you can't watch any Hollywood movies, but I hear you. Anyway, speaking of movies, Raquel has some for us tonight. So tell us what you got for us. We've been talking about old stuff. New stuff. Now we're going to talk about some old stuff. Tell everybody what this
let me
segment
guess.
is.
No Transformers or Avatar in this review.
No, here is where goodness happens. Goodness.
All right.
Take it away,
I did
number
not
one.
have any movies, any films that were brought to me through the algorithms this week. I just didn't have time for them. I have a job on the side now. It's eating up a lot of my time. So I have only been going to my late night film date that I have with my film buddy. And so all three of the films that I'm featuring tonight were just me hanging out with Hungry Boy. He is the artist. He's the official artist of this channel. He is also the incredibly, prodigiously gifted, preternaturally gifted artist who did that glorious painting for my book. Yes, folks, it's an actual painting. So I hang out with him. We hang out, we get along. We're really, really good friends. And I stay up late at night because he's in Australia and I'm in Canada, and we watch movies together. So his first recommendation is Dagora. Now I'm going to be reading from Wikipedia, staying copyright compliant. Oh, the pepperoni, the pepperoni. Yay! Hi, Apollome's minion. How is Simi? Give her a smooch for me. Okay, here we go. Dagora is a giant space monster in a 1964 Japanese kaiju film, and I hope I pronounced that correctly.
You did.
Directed by Ishiro Honda, with special effects by LG Saburaya. I don't know, you guys. This is cold reading.
That's okay. Yeah, don't worry about the names. Yeah, names are very tough. Yeah.
Yes, it's lots of Japanese, and so I'll just skip over to this. Dagora was released theatrically in Japan on August 11th, 1964. It was
the day I was born.
Oh, lovely!
Holy crap!
Oh my gosh, that is your birthday.
So I guess you didn't see it opening day, Clobby.
I couldn't make it opening day. I was a little busy being born.
Oh, that's
Weird.
So cute.
Dad man and
that Dad Man clan.
Hey, Dad Man.
Okay, so Dagora was released theatrically in Japan on August 11th, 1964. One of the best days ever, because one of my best friends in the whole world was born that day.
Worst day on earth ever.
It was released directly to television in the United States in 1966 by American International Television under the title Dagora, the Space Monster. And so I'm going to read a little bit of the plot that has been submitted by multiple users via Wikipedia. When several TV satellites launched by the Electric Wave Laboratory go missing above Japan, people later discover that they collided with unidentified protoplasmic space cells of unknown origin. Meanwhile, Inspector Komai's investigation of unexplained disappearances of diamonds across the globe leads him to a crystallographer, Dr. Munakata. While tracking down self-proclaimed diamond broker Mark Jacobson, Komai finds him in Munakata's home, but gets knocked out while Jackson is taken by gangsters for questioning. Komai awakens to find Munakata and his lab assistant, Carino, I'm just going to say her last name, and tells them of his case before learning the recent stolen diamonds were worthless synthetics. Komai escorts Masayo home and meets Kirino, Masayo's brother, who works at the electric wave laboratory. Okay, so this whole explanation of the plot sounds very soap opera, and it sounds very confused. I'm just going to stop reading. Okay, this is a super fun science fiction Japanese movie that has all of the look and feel of a 1960s spy movie. And these kaiju films that Hungry Boy keeps sending me, they have this feel. And I know Mark would absolutely love this film. I do have to say that I think this is the second kaiju film that I've watched from Hungry Boy, and this one is much better than that first one. I really enjoyed the monster aspect of it, so it's got this monster movie aspect to it. I really do love this whole idea of what did they call it? Protoplasmic, these entities, and this is how the invasion transpires. It's wonderful. So you have this amazing a 1960s spy movie feel. You have some really sexy girls that are dressed wonderfully in this movie. They're good, they're bad. I don't want to spoil anything for you, but watch this space. That's all I can say. And yeah, it's just a great monster movie. It's got good sci-fi, and it feels like one of those sexy spy movies that you would have watched in the 1960s. So that is Dagora. Please tell me, Captain and Chief Engineer, have you seen Dagora?
Well, if I have, I don't have no memory of it. I always say that because back in the 70s when I was a kid, Dr. Shock on the Shock Theater used to show this kind of stuff all the time. I just have no memory of it. So I have to say, that I have no memory of it.
I can definitely tell you that you would like this one much more than the other kaiju film. And I do have to say that I give props to the translation of this film. This film does not pull you out of the story by having poor subtitles or poor voiceovers. Everything here.
Did you watch it subtitled, or because I prefer subtitled to because you can hear the intonation of the actors.
But it's American International dubs everything though.
It's American International television.
They dub everything.
So you can't watch it.
It's all dubbed, but this is different than that first one that he sent me. This one is accurate. These are adults speaking, and it's not broken English. It's really, really good. So it doesn't take you out of the story. You can get immersed. You feel like you're involved with the story, and so really, really high. I guess the word should be dubbing. Really high-end dubbing here, so you're able to immerse yourself in the story. So. How about you, Mark? Have you seen this? This is up your alley.
But like Clobby said, you'd watch, Saturday morning, monster movies, or so at one point maybe I went through it, and I'm loving all these recommendations from Hungry Boy because you've watched the quote unquote standard, not that it's standard, but the the Toho Godzilla monster movies, but some of these I might have missed, and what I've been doing is tracking them down as you guys review them to try to watch them. So which is fun to find these, and some of them are on Amazon. Some are tougher to find, but it's you can get caught. Like I'm looking at this Dagora, the Space Monster. The film was never officially released on home video, although unlicensed copies were produced in the 80s and 90s. So I guess now it's been released in DVD in 2005. So included the original Japanese audio with English subtitles. Oh, good.
Yeah,
that's why
Hungry
I like
Boy just put that in the chat.
There.
Sorry to interrupt you while you were talking, but I wanted you to know that you can get it the way you want to see it.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yep. So I don't know. You've got to pay attention, obviously, when you're with the subtitles.
Yeah.
But I find sometimes there are good voiceover dubs, but more often than not, and then you're not getting the original intonation. So just a funny aside, we had some friends from Switzerland coming, and Friends came on, and
All right, Max.
that's
Have a good night, buddy.
Night, Max.
good night. Feel better, Max.
Night,
Yep.
buddy. Feel better, Max.
And they're like, that's not Rachel on front. Wait, the voices. She's like, I can't watch it because she was so used to the dubbed over French voices. She's like, oh my God, that's what they sound like. But but I'm gonna definitely seek this one out, and like I've been doing with the other ones, and
this
try to
one
watch
is
them in between Deep Space
significantly
Nine.
higher quality than that other one. I mean, that other one is like that Thunderbird show that you watch. It's got that look and feel. This one is a little bit more elevated, and this one is more science.
And the creature's amazing looking. Wow.
It is, and the way it invades is sensational. So that these protoplasmic spheres, and just there are a lot of really good guesses at futurism here, which is what science fiction should do. So you're really getting a big bang for your buck here, as far as how you feel and how you think, because you're really feeding your science fiction appetite, as well as feeding your sort of this 1960s spy movie look and feel, and then you get this amazing monster movie. So definitely recommend Dagora. I give it a 7 out of 10, which is
Hungry
huge.
Boys, and saying they had to film the beast. Thank you, Hungry Boy, and smoke and glass tanks. So I guess this wasn't a creature and a man in a creature suit, so not easy to film back then, especially
very difficult.
Today's technology. So cool. Looks kind of like a squid. You got to watch out for those sea bugs, right? So
well, wait until you see what it does to the bridge. Yeah. I mean, the technical prowess of through the practical effects in this film, it should have won awards. It's really good. It's highly enjoyable, and I know that, like me, you have a very strong affinity for practical effects, and this is chock full of it. You're really going to enjoy it.
Plus, it's a Clobbering Times birthday special.
It is, and now we need to send him this poster.
At least something good happened on that day.
Oh, stop! Shin kicks.
Well, here I find a picture of how they filmed it, so I can show that real quick of some of the special effects. So, as Hungry Boy pointed out, thank you. So this is, I guess, how they filmed it with smoke in the water.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
So here's you see that?
That's one. Yep.
The film is in black and white or in color?
My version was in color.
Okay.
So wow, look at all the techniques they had to do to film that practically, and all the lighting. That's a nightmare too.
Yeah.
Anytime with glass and
calf kicks. Wow, that hurts.
Love
That's the biggest kaiju. Wow, 7 times bigger than Gojira. Wow.
The moral of the story there,
Cool.
folks, is do not get on 6's bad side.
This is what I saw.
Unless you have a running start.
This is
Calf
what
kicks.
I saw. And isn't this marvelous for, I think, 1963? Is it 1964? Is it 64?
Don't make Clobbering Times any older than he is.
Old enough.
Yeah, that's right. It's Clobby's birthday, August 11th, 1964. So obviously made in 1963, though. And this is what I saw. And I was blown away. I thought it was so
They might have made it the same day. I mean, it doesn't look like it took them that long. Kidding. I don't know.
That's the same
Probably
picture,
a couple weeks before. I'm just kidding.
Yep. Lots of
Nice.
fun.
Mass
And
destruction.
It's got some spy. It has some spy sexiness to it with some.
Yeah, how's the
hot
human
chicks.
story? How's the human components? It's good in this
It's
one.
good. It's really
Okay.
good.
Humans.
Sometimes
It makes you sort of
I
think,
hate
you know,
humans.
what is everyone's role here and what is everyone really after, especially the American. When you see the American, you're like, okay, what is this guy's angle? And you try and figure out whether or not he is just a plot device, or whether he's a bona fide villain, or what his role is in the film. It really leaves you trying to figure things out. And it is eventually revealed. So there are big payoffs here. Nothing is, there are no strings left untied or unpulled. So it's quite good.
Am I a what's it? Hungry says, "Am I a space jellyfish?" Well, I aspire to be one. I hope to be. I hope to be good enough to be one someday. I would definitely
Just
certainly.
don't get stuck on someone. Yeah,
It's
don't
I'm not
let
a
anyone-
space jellyfish, but I play one on TV.
Okay.
Wow, look at Titanic here. Wow, that gets.
Yeah, it's really cool. Really, really
That'd be
cool.
cool if they
Right.
fought Dagora versus Avatar.
Yes.
Okay, so are we ready to move to the next one?
Yes. Go for
Sure,
it.
yeah. That was
Okay,
good,
okay,
thank you.
okay. The next one is something really special. So, as you all recall, I watched the algorithm produced that
Oh my.
that other ant movie for me, and
no.
it was so terrible. It was awful. I think I gave it a 2.5 out of 10. It was horrid. And Hungry Boy comes at me with this. He's like, I have
Oh
something for you.
Lord.
Let's see what you think of this. And so
Uh-oh.
he produced Phase 4 for me, and he didn't tell me what it was called. I wasn't allowed to look it up. I wasn't allowed to do any research on it. I just had to saddle up, lock and load. And that's what I did.
Well, it's probably better than Marvel Phase 4.
Yeah. Well, actually, it's really difficult to find that film based on this. I have no idea what Marvel Phase 4 is, but I will tell you that I had to type in 1970s film in order to populate the proper movie. So, Phase 4, this is from Wikipedia, folks, is a 1974 science fiction horror film. That is absolutely correct. This is science fiction. And it's definitely horror. The only feature-length film depicted by graphic designer and filmmaker Saul Bass. It stars Michael Murphy, Nigel Davenport, and Lynn Frederick. The interiors of the film were shot at Pinewood Studios in England, and the exterior locations were shot in Kenya. Though the film is set in Arizona, in the Arizona desert, in the United States.
Good night, JT Kirk.
Good night,
Sorry.
JT
JT.
Kirk. The film was a box office flop, and as a result, this was the only feature film directed by Bass. It has since gained a cult following due to the TV airings beginning in 1975, and also being shown on Mystery Science Theater 3000 during the KTMA era. The film was inspired by H.G. Wells' 1905 short story, Empire of the Ants. That was the previous film that I watched, which was also an adaptation of the H.G. Wells story. It was horrid. Empire of the Ants should be burnt. Anyways, a novelization of the script written by Barry N. Malzberg was published as Phase 4 in November 1973. So I'll just read the first part of the plot. And then we'll talk about it. After a spectacular and mysterious cosmic event, ants of different species undergo rapid evolution, develop a cross-species mind hive, and build 7 strange towers with geometric perfect designs in the Arizona desert. Except for one family, the local human population flees the strangely acting ants. Scientists James R. Lesko and Ernest D. Hubbs set up a computerized lab in a sealed dome located in the area of significant ant activity in Arizona. The ant colony and the scientific team fight each other, though the ants are the more effective aggressors. The narrative uses the scientific team as the main protagonists, but there are also ant protagonists going about their duties in the colony. The ants immunize themselves to human chemical weapons and soon infiltrate the lab. Teams of ants penetrate the computers of the lab and short them out. After Lesko decodes an ant message, Kendra Eldridge, a young woman who has taken refuge with the scientists, becomes convinced that her actions have enraged the ants. Seeking to save the 2 scientists, she abandons the lab and apparently sacrifices herself. Hubbs and Lesko begin to have different plans for dealing with the ants. While Lesko thinks he can communicate with the ants by means of messages written in mathematics, Hubbs plans to wipe out a hill he believes to be the ants' central hive, obviously trying to go after the queen, right? Delirious from a venomous ant sting, Hubs can barely get his boots on, but is determined to attack the hive and kill the ant queen. Instead, Hubs literally falls into, and I'm not going to say any more. This film is really, really, really good. I can see why it has acquired a cult following, because if you would have watched this with me in the 1970s or even in the 80s, this would have been something that we would have picked up from the movie store, and we would have, on VHS, and we would have watched it on the rented VHS, and we would have really thought that it was crazy and really super cool. It has a very, very psychedelic ending that is very art house art film. So you go through this journey. There is some incredible photography here. So when you're reading this Wikipedia page, let me just be very frank with you here. It sounds like the movie's silly. It's actually not silly, because it gets into a lot of microphotography, which I studied in university in fine arts. I took a couple of fine arts classes. And the microphotography here, the close-up, really teeny tiny photography is sensational. And what they do with the ants is beyond what your imagination can comprehend until you're in the movie and you're watching it. Now, all that said, this is an acquired taste, this film. This is a cult film for people who really, really love science fiction and are really into that thing that was going on in the 70s where Mother Nature strikes back. She's had enough. No more BS. We're getting this done. However, it's extraterrestrial in nature. So we have a lot of science here. We have a lot of extremely high level photography, cinematography, micro filming, micro photographs. We have very interesting ideas. We involve music and mathematics, and there are all of these images. There's lots of symbolism here, and then we wind up with an incredibly psychedelic ending that I won't ruin. It may stretch what you think you're capable of imbibing when you see that very psychedelic ending, but it is very art house. This is very much something you would have watched in a fine arts class in university. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was wickedly weird, disturbing, and very much science fiction. And so I really, really liked it, and I recommend it. Have either of you seen it?
Yes. We'll try again.
No, go ahead. No, I don't think I've seen this one. So, but you've seen it. But so why don't you elaborate?
I can't elaborate much because I haven't seen it since either the late 70s or when it made it on television and the network. When it made it on the network, mid or late 70s, whatever it was. I have not seen it since. However, I remember really being creeped out by it. I remember, of course, the girl. Oh, well, good night, Steve. Take it easy, Maddie.
Good night, honey.
Take it easy, buddy. I remember the ads in TV Guide even freaked me out. They got the girl with the girl in the sand bit, where she's sticking her hands up under the sand or whatever. No, what was that all about? It was weird. They showed commercials for. I can remember for some reason I'm remembering seeing the commercials leading up to it that night. So I don't remember a whole lot about other than it being really creepy, atmospheric, and scary film. They definitely advertised it as such. And
but the ants are never they're not like them. They're not massive ants. They stay as
no.
They're small. They're small.
But this isn't a joke. This isn't a joke. They're nothing anti-science happens. This is science happening, and that's what bolsters your immersion. You're not incredulous here. You're like, oh my god.
Right.
And unfortunately, the movie flopped. But as Hungry Boy is saying, he said he sent you the one that you watched has a psychedelic ending, the standard version. So I found this. So I guess it was recently discovered that ending, the alternate ending. So as I was reading, further down on the Wikipedia page, and be careful, I'd read the Wikipedia page after you watch the movie
Yeah.
because there's too many spoilers
Right.
along the way.
Yeah, I had to
But
stop.
they
I haven't
found
seen the proper version, so I hear you.
yeah, they said they found just recently found the new ending. So it was released in 2008 on Blu-ray. Long rumored alternate ending of the film remained out of distribution until discovered and restored by Academy Motion Picture Arts and Sciences Film Archive. It's now available on iTunes Extras in celebration of the 45th anniversary of the film. In 2020, I guess they officially released it in the UK. So that's I love it when they find an alternative ending or something
Well,
like
I
that.
think the way the Hungry Boy explained it to me is this was always supposed to be the ending. And I think that they were
Yep.
worried that it wouldn't be palatable for the public at large. It was very science fiction, very art house, very much fine arts, your fourth year fine arts class in university in your undergrad. This is something you're going to look at and you're going to say, okay, what are we trying to achieve with this act, this symbolism, this lighting? What does this represent here? And so it's cerebral in that way. And it's not everyone's cup of tea. This is very psychedelic. But I've never seen the Hollywood ending. I've only seen the art house, fine arts ending. And so I would definitely recommend that you watch the Hungry Boy version of this. He's in the know as far as this goes, and I'm led to believe this is the superior depiction. I can't imagine it without the psychedelic ending because there would be no resolution to what's going on that could be found in a way other than that psychedelic ending. So yeah, watch the psychedelic ending, please.
And it looks like from the trailer, there's a lot of science going on and sciencing going on.
The girl is really cute too.
I'm gonna have to science the crap out of this one,
Sorry.
quote unquote. No, it's all right.
Well,
Yeah,
HB and I have some nicknames for them. So the girl is quite beautiful. Kendra, I believe her name is.
Yes.
She's quite gorgeous. She's quite young.
Oh,
And she's also a complete nincompoop. And I don't know what you guys have in the United States, but here in Canada, we had a shampoo called Prel, and they also have Prel in Australia. And so HB and I call her Prel, and we sort of make fun of her through the film, but in a good way. Like, it's great. And then, of course, we call the mathematician, the numbers guy, we call him the goober. And then and then we call the actual scientist Grizzly Quatermass, I'm sorry. Because he looks like a cross
Nigel
between
Davenport.
Yeah, Grizzly Adams and Quatermass. So it's Prel, the goober, and a Grizzly Quatermass, and we had such a good time talking about it. We just roared with laughter, and not in like I'm not.
You guys did a watch party, or
it's good. Well, I can't really.
Well, that's okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
he kind of watched it together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's fine. Yeah.
It was all legal. We paid for everything.
Yeah. No, I'm joking. Yeah. No, but watch parties are fun too. So that's a great way to. And Amazon, you can do it now too. A bunch of these streaming services they have. If you both sub to the streaming service, you can do a watch party that way too, which is.
Hey, listen,
fun.
I am totally into doing a watch party. If everyone wants to join in, I don't mind that. You would have to ask Hungry Boy for admittance into that. We have a special time that we meet. It's quite late at night for me. I live mountain time in Canada, but I'm not opposed to having a watch party. These are outrageously good films, and when they're bad, they're even gloriously bad. So it's such a wild and thrilling and rewarding ride, and having him by my side as we laugh and talk about these films. It's like when I'm doing a watch party with you and Clobby. It's just so much fun. And so, yeah, anyway.
Oh, they still make Pearl shampoo.
They do. Oh, my. Oh.
I just goggled it. Yeah.
Goggled it.
No, that looks like a really cool movie. Yeah, no,
There you go.
I
Yeah,
don't
there you
think
go.
I'm guessing I haven't seen this, but yeah, look, just from the trailer, all the it looks like a lot of research going on in this movie, which is great. So
Mm-hmm.
I've
it's
seen
all a
Nigel
scientific
Davenport.
mystery.
There's some stuff, and Michael Murphy, but the young lady is the only one I remember from in the ads in TV Guide. Wow, I'm saying.
I wonder why.
Mhm.
Okay, so before we chase everyone away, I am going to make sure that I just move this along, and I move a little bit quicker here. Sorry, everyone.
No, this is all excellent stuff. Yeah,
No,
this
you're
is
doing
fun.
great.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that. What you got now? Oh,
Okay,
terror.
this
Neo.
is
Spazio.
Terrori nello
Terrori.
spazio.
Spazio.
This is dubbed. This is magnificent. This is the quintessential science fiction person's film. It is just great fun. It's gorgeous to look at. It also has a lot of art house art films, fine arts university stuff going on in it. I'll read from Wikipedia. Now, Wikipedia is dumb because Wikipedia calls this movie The Planet of the Vampires. And
Oh Lord, is that? Oh,
and you do not have to speak Italian to know that Terrori nello spazio does not translate to Planet of the Vampires. There are no vampires in this movie. None. There isn't a single vampire in this movie.
Yeah, where do they get that? I mean, come on.
I don't know, Mark, you're Italian. It's clearly
Weird.
terror in space,
That's
right?
a real. I mean, you don't have to
terror in
even be Italian
space.
to kind of catch that, right?
I know,
Yeah.
but it's just ridiculous. Anyways,
Yeah, you're
Weird.
right. Yeah, IMDb is saying Planet of the Vampires. Yeah.
look, there are no vampires in this film. Okay, let's do this. Terror in Space is a 1965 Italian-Spanish science fiction horror film. Oh, is it ever science fiction? Just glorious. Anyways, produced by a name I'm not going to try, and directed by Mario Bava, that stars Barry Sullivan and Norma Bengal. The screenplay by Bava and a whole bunch of names that I'm not going to mention was based on an Italian language science fiction short story. Aren't all good stories based on actual storytelling? Renato, I can't pronounce that last name's book, One Night of 24 Hours. American and International Pictures released the film as the supporting film on a double feature with Daniel Haller's Die Monster Die in 1965. The story follows the horrific experiences of crew members of two giant spaceships, and the spaceships are so good, so sexy, that have crash landed on a forbidden, unexplored planet. The disembodied inhabitants of the world possess the bodies of the crew who died during the crash and use the animated corpses to stalk and kill the remaining survivors. Okay, that's totally inaccurate. So I'm just going to stop reading it. That's garbage. That's not what Planet of the or Terror in Space is about. There are no vampires, and that's not what happens. So I'll just explain the film. It's incredible. So you find yourself on this glorious, glorious spaceship. It's sexy. We have some Sargon globes. We have beautiful people dressed in head to toe Italian leather suits.
Wowzers! Sorry, I'm looking at pictures. These costumes are very good.
Gorgeous. And did you notice
yeah.
that they're built for outer space? So outer space is quite cold, and inside of a spaceship you would need to dress quite warmly, right? So they're dressed in these head to toe leather suits. They look sexy. They have these giant collars. Every cosplayer is immediately enamored with this entire idea of this film. That there's a sexy ginger in it, a not so sexy blonde girl. She kind of has a flat bum and is kind of a ditz. But the ginger is gloriously sexy. And they go about the business of discovering why that other ship crashed and what happened to the people on board. You would not believe how ethereal, terrifying, this odd sense of creep and wonder you feel when they get out of the spaceship and start looking around. It is so cinematically gorgeous with the way that the rocks are designed. Like the rocks, it's not like early Star Trek, okay? And this came out before Star Trek. It's like the rocks look, not only did the rocks look totally real, but it's almost as if the rocks have appendages, and then they have like suction, almost like suction cups on them. So you're thinking to yourself, oh my God. And there is some stuff that happens that has to do with archaeology, that has to do with evolution. And so they sort of discover what's happening together, and they uncover what's going on. This isn't a Hollywood ending. If you're looking for a Hollywood ending, you're going to be very disappointed. This is a cerebral film based on an actual story written by an actual storyteller. So it's going to take you on a ride, and you have to go along for that ride and appreciate it for what it is. You're not going to get a nice little happy ending. So just forget that. You can leave that at the door. This is a beautiful film. The dubbing is, it's of no consequence. It's glorious to watch. For me, Terror nello Spazio is a 10 out of 10 for genre lovers, for science fiction people. This is a must-see. This is a movie you must have tucked into your belt as you explore it. You see how perhaps Gene Roddenberry watched this and thought it was quite neat, and so he thought, you know, I want to incorporate that idea as well. You see some other people who have worked in science fiction and how they've also borrowed from some of these wonderful concepts. Not only visual concepts, but story concepts, storytelling concepts, dialogue, representations of good and evil. It's quite magical. This is a must view if you are a science fiction fan. And certainly it does have elements of horror. There's no gore in this movie, though. I can't handle gore. I don't enjoy gore. I don't want to see other people getting hurt. It's not my cup of tea. So it's good. And
But there's a horror element, it seems like, though.
Yeah, it's scary. It'll scare the pants off of you. And in a way where it sort of makes you shift in your seat. You don't feel quite right about it as you place yourself into the position of the people on this ship. And it really leaves you wondering until the very end what's going to happen. And what happens at the end will blow you away. It's not what you're expecting. It's not what you're expecting at all. And so that's it. Terrore nello Spazio. And I mean that no disrespect to anyone
I'm not
who's
offended.
Italian. Okay.
But this looks amazing. I'm watching the trailer playing next to the screen, and the set design looks very Forbidden Planet-esque. Which came out about 10 years earlier, but yeah, the sets look great, the costumes look great, and you know, I trust Hungry Boy and you too for great reviews. So this looks really well done, and
No
looks
vampires.
interesting, and a lot of yeah, I don't know how I'm
looking at all these posters that say Planet of the Vampires.
I'm kind of guessing where they just came up with the just from watching the trailer without. I don't want to read the Wikipedia to spoil the movie for myself, but just from the trailer. But of course they think that'll sell. But you know, movies like this, you know, because they're foreign made, you know, often get ignored, unfortunately. So thank
Chris
you
is
for bringing
leaving?
this out. Yep.
Sorry to interrupt
good
you
night,
while
Chris.
you're talking, but
Take
I
it
love
easy,
Chris, and sorry, gang, gotta call it a night. Have to catch my morning paper before the
All right,
porch
buddy.
pirates get it. I love you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Thank you for everything. Thank you
Later,
for the
bud.
beautiful show posters, for
Thanks.
bringing up those
Thanks for
quotes and
everything.
everything. I love you, honey. Love you. Thank
Good night,
you.
buddy.
Good night. Thanks, Chris. Yep.
Okay, so yeah, so this is a gooder. You have to watch it. This is must see, must watch for any science fiction fan. And there are no vampires. I
I feel like
you
a
to
newbie for missing all these movies. What was that?
Yeah,
What have I been
think
doing the
about-
last 40 years?
Think
Hey,
about
wasting my time.
Newbie.
Sargon. I want you to think about Sargon.
Okay.
Of a
That's
cod?
more what's going on than
Than vampires.
yeah.
Okay.
And-
Do we
and-
get and they
All
do
right,
have a
Das
blonde in the
Wolfen.
movie.
Have a good one, Das Wolfen. Thank you.
Das Wolfen.
Take care. Good to see you. Yeah, I got a little gander at the redhead. There we go. Can't well. There, that's nice. I've not seen this.
The blonde is wearing a big blonde wig.
Yeah, well,
And
that was the
she
60s.
bats her eyelashes, and she's a bit of a nitwit. And she looks like a bit of a gimp in the gimp suit there when she puts on the thing.
Oh no.
The ginger.
This is not ginger hatred of blondes, is it? I hope this is just
the
honest
ginger
opinion.
is hubba. And she doesn't disappear when she turns sideways. You get what I'm saying there?
My goodness, that's awful. How dare
And
you.
all her hair is real, full head of Irish hair. Anyway,
very cool, very cool. Thank you for pointing this out, Hungry Boy. Very well done. Yeah,
it's beautiful. Please watch it. Have fun with it, and you're going to be blown away by what happens when you land on the planet and you start walking around. So cool. Practical effects. This is an orgasm of practical effects done in just chef's kiss way. Mwah! Perfecto.
Did this movie do well when it was released, or
I don't know. I don't care.
No, I'm just wondering. This is a well-known. I've never heard of it. So
let me go to reception.
Have you heard of it, Clobbering Times?
Never.
Hold on.
American International released it here, and that's why they called it Planet of the Vampires. I guess they figured that people wanted to go see vampires, and that's all you had to do was lie about it. You know, there's also a Charlton comic of the 70s called Planet of the Vampires. It lasted a couple of issues. So I don't know.
Okay, here we go. So the influence.
Atlas, sorry.
Several critics have suggested that Bava's film was a major influence on Ridley Scott in Alien 1979 and Prometheus 2022 in both narrative detail and visual design. AIP released the film as the supporting film of a double feature, Monster Die 1965. Planet of the Vampires, that's not its name, has accumulated a very positive critical response over the years. In 1966, Castle of Frankenstein described the film as beautifully photographed Italian sci-fi fantasy with excellent SFX and superior color. Variety drooled and opined plot is punctuated with gore, shock, eerie music, and wild optic and special effects. Color camera work and production values are smooth and first class. This is Flash Gordon type story, should keep the young on the edge of their seats and the older from falling asleep. So, and it just keeps going on and on and on. So,
wow.
Everyone says it's very cerebral and is high in craft. I did not know that when I watched this. I only had the Italian name for it. And Hungry Boy makes sure I don't do any research so that I can actually not be an academic and just enjoy myself. So, yeah, Terrori nello spazio is critically acclaimed on top. So I guess I know what I'm talking about. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, one of the clips I just read said the crew members climb up into the depths of an eerie ship and discover the gigantic remains of a long-dead monstrous creature. In 79, Cinefastique noted the remarkable similarities between this atmospheric sequence and the lengthy scene in the new film Alien. Very interesting. Very interesting. Yeah.
Wait until you see the practical effects. Gonna blow your mind. And the experience of the depiction of being on an alien planet. It's not just the practical effects. It's the lighting. It's the music. It's the atmosphere. It's the way it's filmed. Like, this is the kind of film that would turn me into like a cinephile. I could turn into a geek from this film just because it's just so juicy. And I think it's wild that it's critically acclaimed. Oh my gosh, you guys, for once, the critics got it right.
And then I got to say this too. I was just checking. It says James Wan talks Aquaman 2. It's very heavily influenced by Planet of the Vampires. I don't know how, but that's interesting.
Shin kick anyone who calls it Planet of the Vampires.
Planet of the non-pyres.
Yeah, well, I'll post the article. And of course, that's unfortunately what's been translated.
Yeah, I called it. Yeah, that's what they got a lot of posters that say that. Yeah.
I don't know how the heck that, but here's the article. If someone wants to gander by it, and
I walked into that
let's see.
theater.
Yeah.
There's no vampire.
So,
there
but
was
that
blood.
shows you how important the film is, though, that it's being remembered that many years later. So
Yeah.
The Thing.
What? What about it?
The Thing's here.
I didn't see him pop in.
Dun, dun,
you
dun,
wouldn't like me
dun.
when I'm singing.
There he is. There you go. Hey, the
Thing.
Thing. What's up, buddy?
And
It's
Darius
clobbering
says,
time.
"This is an
It's-
arousing description. I'm here to please, Darius Munchausen."
It's good to see everybody. The Thing here. This is for you.
It's clobbering time.
No, not that one. Do my favorite one. It's way better.
That's my favorite one. That's the title of the show. Sort
No,
of.
put it
All
on.
right. Look at this one, too.
Clobberanimo.
Yeah, the clobbering
Animo.
time's fine.
Good to see you, Thing.
Darius says, "Is everything Italian sexy?" Yes, Darius. I'm here to say it is. Even pizza is sexy. Imagine pizza. Just
Well, yeah, it
stringy,
is,
beautiful,
of course.
yummy, saucy, cheesy pizza with lots of pepperoni on it.
Yes, indeed. Well, there you go. Three. You had three great recommendations for everybody. Fantastic.
Thank you, Hungry Boy.
Well done,
I love
number
you,
one.
honey. My film buddy.
Well done. Number 111. Yeah.
And that's the end of my
Awesome.
segment. Thanks for listening to me just
Well,
yammer
great.
on
Great.
forever.
Appreciate you.
No, it's interesting. Yeah.
Hungry Boy. I don't know how you're gonna like this or not, but it's time for some tripwire.
Oh.
Did you take your high blood pressure
Well,
meds?
It's another situation. This is a wonderful artist. I question him being at number 4. But we'll go ahead and knock this out. So look after this, there are only 3 more to go.
Oh.
So let me go ahead and get that. It's tripwire time, folks. So I need a theme song for it, but it's too late now, isn't it? Let me do something first.
Let
I want to put something to cover it up before I just do that. Before so I bring it, I can present it.
the big
all right,
reveal.
No, it's not. It's just this is an artist that. Well, I'll explain it. He's a great one. He's one we love. Don't worry about that. For those who don't know, there's a former magazine that is now just a digital mag called Tripwire, Geek Magazine. That, let's put it to you like this: they've got a top 101 comic artist thing they've gone on. They've released an art. We found it about a year ago or more now, right? I don't know what it is, about a year ago. We've been I've been chronicling it. We found it when it was like at number 50 something or other.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's and I'm, to say the least, a bit I not particularly happy with their placement. Not so much the people on the list, the great artists on the list, but their placement has been very suspect over the course of this thing. And now we're in the top 5. We're at number 4 now. Last week was number 5. They had Steve Ditko, who was very deserving. No problem there. Okay, so I guess you're ready. It feels like Hunger Boy is not happy. Sorry. So here's number 4. I'm going to say this up front. Like I said, Hunger Boy, this is a beloved, brilliant, marvelous artist whom I don't know if I would have at number 4, but it's not like an insult or anything. And that is, of course, the great Bernie Wrightson.
Wow.
Tell me about him.
Bernie Wrightson, of course, our dear departed friend Mark C., that we all miss very much, was a huge fan of Bernie Wrightson. I've shown you some of his art before, Raquel. Of course, unfortunately, I met a really nice guy. Unfortunately, no longer with us. Mr. Wrightson was a nice fellow. He did a lot of great horror art. He became very well known for the creation and the co-creation of the character called Swamp Thing.
Oh yeah, this guy.
Yeah.
Oh, he's amazing. One of the all-time greats. Yeah.
And
Wow.
Look at that
brilliant
ginger.
artist, great horror artist, great superhero. Just one of the magnificent artists.
So how do we
At
feel
number
about
4,
this
the only
placement?
reason well, my problem with the placement would be this, and I'd have to see what Hunger would have to say about this. Bernie Wrightson, magnificent though he was, certainly doesn't have anywhere near the output, the body of work that, say, a Ditko or a Kubert or any of these other guys have, because when you think Bernie Wrightson, you think of his Swamp Thing work. You think of some of his other horror stuff, and you think of his Frankenstein book that he did for Marvel, but that wasn't a comic book. It was Marvel did put it out there, but it was the Shelley book with, as an illustrated story where he put a lot of great illustrations for it.
Have you seen that, Raquel? Or
and I've showed her pictures.
I think
I
CLOBBERIN
haven't,
Times
but can I interject here? I hate doing this sort of thing. I hate interrupting you guys when you're talking. But Ezra Goldstein has to leave. He says, "Bravo, Raquel. Now I take my leave. Good night, Raquel. Good night, Mark. Good night, Clobby, and the whole chat." Ezra Goldstein, good night, sweetheart.
All right,
Thank
Ezra.
you for joining us.
Good night, Ezra. Thank you for hanging with us.
Anyway, please continue. I'm so sorry, gentlemen.
Take care, Ezra.
Oh, it's all good.
Appreciate you being here. Look, I love I love his Frankenstein as well. Trevor. Look, I love him. He's a fantastic artist. He belongs way high up. But did he have anywhere? I mean, he didn't have a gigantic body of work in the comics field. He did a lot, but not compared to some of the other true greats. So I have no problem with him. I mean, my personal placement, I wouldn't have him up there. He's in my top list. I mean, I love him. One of the all-time greats. And so he was magnificent. So I'm not sweating him being on there. Look at that. Just, oh God, man.
Yeah, it's unbelievable
incredible
art. Very creative, innovative
Brilliant
line
artist.
work. It's very detailed line work, but not
I like
overdone.
his
I don't know how to
people.
explain it. Not overdone. Yep.
I like his people. His people are beautiful. The way that he draws women and faces and stuff. I find his faces and physiology, anatomy. I find it very. It's just very realistic. It's very beautiful. It's almost like it's not a comic. So.
Well,
I mean, you see, it's him instantly.
He's most known for monsters, though. So that's what's weird that you say that. Almost, I've always loved this cover right here.
Maybe that's why he does humans so well, because we're all monsters.
The cover for Swamp Thing. The cover for Swamp Thing #7 with Batman on the cover is one of the greatest comic book covers ever made for me. I love that cover right there.
Yeah,
I've always loved
the colors on that too. Yeah, with the Batman's cape reflecting the yellow light. That's very cool.
I like the woman up.
And of course, the interior work on that issue with Batman's cape.
Oh, Alejandro.
Up.
Flores Ibarra. Very nice to meet you, sir. Welcome. Actually, I think I know you. I think I've seen you before. And 6 says, "Alas, I must too retire to bed. Have a wonderful." Just kidding. I'm taking you all with me. She's lying.
Is there popcorn there?
Oh, wow. I love you. Love you, 6. Alejandro Flores Ibarra, good to see you. Right now we're doing the we did science fiction movies. We talked about some stuff. Well, we did all kind of stuff we're talking about tonight. Right now, our Tripwire segment.
Comics, Alejandro. And what makes a really outstanding comic book artist? And we're doing a countdown.
Novel. Actually, a comic book or a comic strip either. It's just illustrated
I just
work
lost
that
you
he
for a
did for
second.
Marvel's,
CLOBBERIN Times. I don't know if
Shelley,
that's my end or your end.
With the Shelley book. What'd you say?
Oh, I lost your audio for a few seconds. I don't know if that was my end or your end, but
I'm sorry.
You dropped out. No, but that could have been my internet too. So
computer messing me up.
Was that you too, Raquel? Or?
Yes.
Curious, have you ever talked about Vampirella before? Oh, you both lost it? That was me then. What, you hear me now, all right?
5 by 5, yep. Sounding good now, yep.
Okay. Wow. I don't know.
We just lost
Anyway,
a few
so
seconds.
yes, what I'm saying is
a few seconds. Yeah.
okay. Well, thanks. Appreciate it. He basically, this is kind of what I'm talking about here. It could be my shitty computer. I don't know. This here's not from a comic book. This is from the novel that Marvel released that he did a lot of art for, like an illustrator. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
And then it looks like they're not even showing anything from the. Oh, that was number 4. Look, hey, number 5. Did we do 5 last week?
We did.
Yeah.
We did 5, right? We did John Buscema, didn't we?
I'm pretty sure we did.
Oh, okay. I can't remember now. We better have done 5.
Wasn't it Steve?
Oh man, we didn't do 5. I got him backwards.
Or did you do it on did you do it on Wednesday night?
No.
What was
Wait a
number
minute
5?
Or wait a minute. Did we do what's the last one we did? Was it Ditko?
I thought it was Ditko.
I don't know. Let me check.
I think it was Ditko. I remember
I'm checking.
Ditko.
I'm
yeah.
checking. No, I got my notes. I gotta go check my notes.
Go check your notes. Go check your notes.
This is pissing me off.
Minimus.
I could have swore. Where are you, stupid notes?
Would you like a song instead, Minimus?
What does he want?
Where
are my? On my notes here. Okay. Oh, we didn't do 5.
Yeah, go make a sandwich.
We didn't do 5.
Uh-oh.
We did 6.
Well, we can go out of order.
So we're backwards tonight. Number 5 is John Buscema.
Oh no!
Which I'm happy about.
Oh, good.
What? I got John Buscema at number 5. I mean, wow, I was way higher than I expected. I'm not complaining about it, but so I got him backwards tonight. I did 4 before 5. Shoot me, but
that's all right.
Let's see here. So, wow, man, I thought I'd done that. What the hell is wrong with me? Okay, well, anyway, we've got a.
It sounded like you clipped the wrong movie for a slideshow on the screen.
Mark.
Yeah, I could do that.
It's okay. So there's sometimes when I'm streaming where I can't think of a word, or I can't think of a title, or I can't think of an answer to a trivia question, and I know it. That's the bad thing.
No, I hear you. That's the way it goes. Okay, well, here we go with number 5 then. And I gotta say, it's high. He's in my top favorite list. I want to know Hungry Boy's reaction.
What do you think, HB? Oh, here you go. Here you go. It's up, boss.
Yeah, John at 5. Could have placed him like around 30. He says, yeah, I hate to agree. Oh, by the way, 6 said she found Phase 4 on streaming. Just press play. Oh, there you go. Wow.
Nice, yeah.
Okay, so here we have. I'm not gonna look. I love John Buscema at 5. I probably would have. I have him in my favorites list for sure. Damn it. Okay.
Oh, he's an all-time great, yeah.
And I love him. So I'm not gonna. Let's see what they have. Some examples of his stuff here.
I always love
great
his
big
work.
job.
Yeah.
He's in my Hall of Fame. So I love him. This is one of the most fantastic pieces he ever did right here. This splash page with the vision. Behold the vision. I love it. Love it. Love it.
That's great. Yeah.
Yeah. He says, I put Big John at a solid 10-5 myself. Yeah. So I'm going to be happy with him I'm glad he's getting this recognition. At least, like I said,
once you get like I was saying last week,
slight questioning. Into the top 10.
Well, I was gonna say, yeah. Once you get into the top 10, the order is not. Oh, yeah. You blinked for 1 second, but once you get into the top 10, the order is As long as someone
think I figured
belongs
out
in the
what's
top
doing it.
10, they figured it out.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to dispute John Buscema. He has a great body of. See, the thing is, unlike he has a great body of work. Unlike Bernie Wrightson, whom I love, is brilliant. He didn't do anywhere near close to the volume of work. I know it's quality over quantity for sure, but look at this stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, John was underrated.
And I
But it's,
love
you know,
that cover. I've got
that's one of the
that.
great covers.
I've got number 4. Yep. And I was
That's a
surprised by
great
how
cover.
the price skyrocketed on that because it's not number 1 because people love the cover. Like I think I got it for not too much money way back in the day, but God, I love that cover, and I love the Surfer too. So and Thor, obviously.
Yeah,
You know, that'd be a great action figure diorama to set up.
it would be a great one. I wish it would do
Yeah.
that. So there's Mephisto, the good, the bad, and the uncanny. This is he's one of the great ones. I mean, I love his, and I love this. I love his brother Sal too, but Sal didn't even make the 101.
They didn't put Sal in at all. Wow,
No,
I would have put him in instead of.
I don't think
those
Sal
other
made the 101
clunkers
at all. But I
some of
love
those other
Sal.
clunkers they had.
Some of those other clowns they put on there.
Who was the guy that
Yeah.
had the not so safe for work the Fritz the Cat guy? I would have put Sal instead of him. Yeah,
Crumb Bum. Yeah.
Crumb Bum.
But he, you know, of course, he's so well known for his Thor, but he's more so as Conan.
Yeah, look how amazing that
There's
is.
Conan without Calla inking him, probably. How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way. That's him. He did
That's
that.
him. Okay, yeah.
He learned it from Jack.
Everyone had that book in the 70s and the 80s. Yeah.
Ever see that, Mag? Ever see that book?
Oh yeah. We'll pass that one around. Yep.
Remember that book?
Yeah, because what was fun was that, you know,
So-
in the local stores would have, you know, there was like a general store or like a Caldor's where we lived. It was like a Kmart and they had, you know, that book and you know, Secret Orange and Superheroes, and so that was always fun to, you know, one of the few things you could see that was mainstream, you know, in a mainstream store that you could get easily.
Yeah. Exactly, Hungry Boy. So there we go. Good one. Some good choices. Some greats. And there you go. So that's our tripwire for this week. Now we're caught up, and I got him a little bit backwards there, but at least we got that done. So
That wasn't so bad, right?
Well, the
3 more
picks
to
at
go.
least didn't upset anyone, which is really good.
Yeah, and we're all good with it. And there you go. So there we go. We got 3 more to go now on tripwire. Getting there.
Good stuff. Yep.
Yes,
Well, where
sir.
would you have
Yeah.
put? You would have put Wrights in about there, you think, or maybe a little?
I'd had Wrightson somewhere, maybe. I
the
mean, my
teens?
favorites list is in the teens, but I'd have him somewhere in the teens and 20s, only because, again, when we're
Body of
talking
work.
about, it's called Great Comics Artist Stripper Books. One thing I throw in there is a bit of their longevity and how long they worked in the field and how many like monumental projects that they did that they're associated with, that how much impact they had. If they were just someone who drew pretty pictures, that's cool, and had some okay stuff. Of course, his biggest impact, the Swamp Thing, for sure. His other stuff, some of his other horror stuff's great, and you know, he did that. You and I reviewed something he did. Is that Thing graphic, Hulk graphic novel, the big change, right?
Big change. Yep.
And so I love him.
Which
as
is
far as
unusual for him. That
it was a very unusual book. So yeah, but anyway, he's great. So, well, what else we got going on? Mark, you got anything for us? Because I've got like maybe a little something we can mention a little bit before we get moving. But what do you got going on?
Well, I just was showing. I just had a short. I've been trying to do a toy a day before I get to do some of my long form reviews. But that's just did Thor versus Loki, and you know, that was just bringing back good memories of the good Thor movies and good times and Marvel, and just Hiddleston, and it was fantastic. And I guess now our Thor movies are done now, or what's I was missing the beginning of the show, but as our comedic actor, is he giving up playing Thor? I heard some kind of rumor that Hemsworth said he was done with Thor.
He's not done. He has early Alzheimer's. So,
what?
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah, that's what I read. Yeah, I read that he
Chris
has.
Hemsworth?
Pardon me.
Chris Hemsworth?
Yeah. So it strikes a lot of people, and apparently he did some type
I,
of DNA test and found out that he has more markers for it than the average person. I'm pretty sure this is the same
Oh, okay.
guy. Mark, if you want to
really?
Google it,
Well,
please
here I
make
can.
sure that
Well,
you
here
are
I
I
can share
verifying
the
what I'm
article.
saying. But I'm pretty
I had
sure
heard that.
it's him, and because he may have very
Wow.
limited time with his family, and he has children and stuff like that.
I know he
I
was
think
criticized in the movies, but okay, he was
yeah.
what changed his
So
life after.
yeah,
Oh,
so this is it here, and I think that it's very important for him to spend what time he has left with his family, because you can live for a very long time with the type of illness he has, if he even gets it. But I mean, from what I was reading about his genetic makeup, he has like more markers for this than a normal person. Even someone who actually gets it, he has more markers than even someone who
That's
would
very
have it.
sad.
So
Yeah.
it's really super
I had
scary.
read this. This is recent.
Yeah, this is very recent, and
Okay.
it's quite sad, and I feel absolutely gutted for this young man. I don't watch these superhero movies. I'm not into like the big steroid guy. I don't think he's handsome or anything like that. I just see him as a young man with his whole life ahead of him, and this must be a massive gut punch to this young man and his growing family. So really, really
Well,
heartbreaking.
it's just a disposition. He doesn't necessarily mean he'll get it, but
Well, they said
Um,
he's got a
right.
new National
Okay.
Geographic series, Limitless, that's streaming on D plus or D minus, as sometimes we call it. But his new docu series about pushing back on the natural decline that comes with time and aging. The star of Thor and Extraction underwent a battery of genetic tests to see what, if anything, the future might have waiting for him, etched into his very DNA. What he discovered, he says in the show, was my biggest fear.
yeah,
So it
hopefully.
doesn't mean he will get it, but it's
No, but
he's got the
you need to read
yeah.
about this. Just go ahead and read it, please.
Yeah, his makeup includes 2 copies of the gene,
Two
8 let
copies.
me pause that so it's not playing. 2 copies of the gene APOE4, one from his mother and one from his father, which
Yeah.
genetically, if 2 people have, the same gene, that can get passed along. So if one person has it, it lessens your risk if you've
That's
studied
right.
genetics, but which says they're linked to an increased risk of Alzheimer's disease.
Now
Only
read
1 in
this.
4 people carry a single copy of the gene. Only 2 to 3% of the population have both, according to
Yes.
the 2021 study.
This is why he's worried, and
Yeah.
it's quite sad, and I
Yeah.
feel terrible for him.
Yeah, so the 39-year-old actor confronts what it means for him and his future. It's not a hard diagnosis of Alzheimer's, he emphasized in an interview with Vanity Fair, but it's cause for concern. The double occurrence of the
Sure.
gene places him in a category of much higher risk for being impacted by the condition.
Mm-hmm. Damn.
My concern was I just didn't want to manipulate it and over dramatize it and making it some sort of hokey grab and empathy or whatever for entertainment. It's not like been handed my resignation. Yep.
Yeah.
Very
Hemsworth
sad.
can begin taking steps to manage the risk, maintain physical and mental health, and perhaps stave off the development of the disorder for as long as possible.
Mhm.
He's dealing
Right.
with it in a number of ways, gallows humor among them.
Yeah, so that's important. So it's very important for people to realize that only 2 to 3% of the population have this strong of a presence of the marker in their DNA, and that he is downplaying it because he doesn't want people to think that he's abusing his celebrity to garner sympathy and stuff like that. So he's quite humble, and
Yeah.
this is a very, very, very serious discovery. And I mean, if this manages to seize hold of him, it could happen to him in his 40s or even his 50s, and he's 39 years
Mm-hmm.
old. So it's just very tragic. I wish him the best. I hope for
Mm-hmm.
hopes that he doesn't get it, but I mean, it's not looking good. And I praise him for prioritizing his family and his own personal life. He's made enough money. He's comfortable, and he has a beautiful family from what I have seen in the
Mm.
press, and I wish him nothing but love and hope and safety and health. And this is terrible. Poor guy.
When I first saw you, when you mentioned him, I thought you were talking about this other story that came out the other day where he was criticizing he was not going to
Yeah,
do any more Thor movies or anything
that's what I
like that.
thought
He
it
was
was. Yeah.
criticizing Takeda Woke Titty or whatever. He didn't want to work with any more, quote unquote, like out of sorts directors or whatever, out of control
Or
directors.
tours, yeah.
Basically, he was basically aiming at a Takeda Woke Titty. But again, you know what? On that, he's the one that wanted to do stupid stuff like Fat Thor and make Thor a joke. And he was in on a lot of that stuff and wanted to do it himself. Now, again, like the guy, I'm a fan of the guy. What I'm saying though is, and he's a good Thor. But now that people come out and now that it's pretty much out there in the ether that no one likes the stupid last movie he made that he participated in. Now he's like, oh yeah, I was never on board with that stuff. It sucks. I don't want to do any more of those. Yeah, really, dude.
Yeah.
All right, whatever, man. You got your money though, and so that was what I thought you were talking about that story. But
That's what I thought. Yeah, I had no idea. So Larry, yeah. So he was doing a TV show, and I just saw the popped up on my feed. It's called it looks pretty cool show, National Geographic's Limitless.
Yeah.
So it looks like he just went into the show, and then part of the show, I guess normally you're not going to get these DNA tests unless perhaps it's prevalent in your family. So I don't know if his mom or dad ever got Alzheimer's. I don't know if
well, Hungry Boy is illuminating some of this. He's saying Australia sadly represents highly in the demographics of this disease, comparatively speaking. And thus we get ads about it every week. So that's unfortunate. And Darius Munchausen says, I do the same. Take off, spend time with my family, and try to establish a new lifestyle to maximize neurological health. And Claude says, he says, in 2019, my 92-year-old mother died. She never forgot anything or anyone. But this past Thanksgiving, I was at a get-together where a man in his 80s I think he made a typo here, where a man in his 80s forgot that his wife had died. Very, very sad. Yeah. It's a sad thing. And I follow a lot of stuff with DNA and neurology and things like that. So this populated for me on social media, and that's why I know about it. I'm by no means do I follow this young man or his movies, but I do wish him the very best. It's terrible. He's very young.
Another coincidence with my birthday. He and I share the same birthday.
Oh, no way. Wow.
It's a little lot weird. Stephen, he basically paraphrasing Ghostbusters. It's like, if there's a big enough paycheck in it, I'll just do just about anything you say. Yes, he's paraphrasing, but yeah, that's for the paycheck.
No fee is too big. No job is too big.
No job is too big. No fee is too big. Yeah, but you can't blame him. I don't blame him for that. It's a fact. So there we go. More depressingness.
Well, the one last sentence I would read. They were planning on telling the results on camera, but when they got the results, the director Darren Aronofsky said, I called the show creator, or the doctor called the creator, said, I don't want to tell him this on camera. We need to have an offside conversation and see if he even wants this to be in the show. It was pretty shocking because he called me up and told me. So, I can, getting something like this, there's a lot of genetic diseases out there where you can get tested for. So hopefully, they'll, there are some Alzheimer's treatments, but, I've had family members, I'm sure everyone out there's knows, unfortunately, someone who's had dementia, and in some ways it's even more terrifying on the family, because your loved one, doesn't remember you, and that in some ways psychologically that can even be worse than you go to visit someone and they don't know who you are, and it's just a horrible disease, all around.
It's true, but it's also very important for people to recognize that there are different types of Alzheimer's, right?
Yes, yeah.
So you can have early onset Alzheimer's, which can happen, I believe, as early as your 30s.
Yeah.
And I think I'm not hard and fast on that.
Well, I knew someone.
I know it's in your 40s and your 50s, but then there's also
father got in their 50s.
And then there's dementia. And then there's vascular dementia, you know, if you've had head trauma or if you've had a stroke or things like that. So there are different types of Alzheimer's. And so the fact that he is in a very horribly elite category of 2 to 3% of the population having 2 of these genetic markers, it's very sad. And so, yeah, whatever happens with him, I feel terrible for him, and I hope he spends his time with his family and just takes really good care of himself. And I wish him the best. Poor kid, 39 years old.
Check out that show because it sounds. One thing he says at the end, he says, "Don't delay that trip. Just do it now because you don't know when your time's up. You don't know what tomorrow holds.
That's
so
right.
live it to the fullest. Whether or not any of this information helps you live longer, it's about living better right now. Whatever you do right now to benefit your future self is having a huge benefit in your current self. So yeah, don't. Yeah. So that's good outlook on life. Yep.
Yes, sir.
Well, but sorry, I didn't want to the downer. I just I figured it was.
Well, it's my fault because you brought it up, and I was like, "That must be what they're talking about." And meanwhile, you guys were talking about something totally different. So I apologize.
Not your fault.
No, don't apologize.
I'm in science, so I received that information from a science source.
I don't know how I didn't get that
story.
Yeah.
No, don't worry about it. It's,
yeah, no, but that's sad news. But
sad,
you know, hopefully it'll be okay. But yeah, no, I guess I was reading some silly funny books instead of paying attention to the news. But no, that's I'm surprised that wasn't bigger news. I mean, you know, I don't know how many people in the chat. Did everyone in the chat hear about this? Or
first I heard about it.
No, I'm very nerdy. I know weird stuff. It's probably no one's heard of it. I feel bad about.
He's one of the biggest stars.
I thought that would have got all over the place. So
I mean, he's so huge.
Yeah. No, I mean that's interesting that we're probably the first ones to talk about it. I guess then because usually he can't do much of anything without getting a lot of attention. So
yeah.
Anyways, it's really sad because it isn't always just old age, folks, and so this is huge news, and it's incredibly sad. And like Darius Munchausen and others have said in the chat, this is time for him to put his family first, and I totally respect that. And like I said, you know, he's a very young man, and I'm not a fan of his or whatever, but I feel absolutely gutted that such a young man would be given this diagnosis and to be in such an elite, unfortunately elite section of the population with both of these genes, with both parents with these gene markers. It's absolutely horrible.
Hey, Shooter, good to see you.
Pew, 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 pew.
Well, we could wrap it up a little bit here with this one thing. I just started watching a show that I was going to ask either one of you. I was asking, has anyone here, other than Minimus, because I know he knows the show, have watched the show Eureka from the Sci-Fi Channel?
Yes. Can we show some a visual of Eureka, boss?
Of it here.
I can pull up some. You got some, Mike?
I got something. Unless you got better, you'd probably do it better than me. But
well, if it's easier for me,
I watched a little bit of this. I watched it on and off. Back in 2007, 8 when it first came on or whatever. Now I know Claude has he's seen them all. He has all the Blu-rays, like 5 seasons. Is that funny? Maybe he doesn't like it. But I really enjoyed what I saw of it. The first couple of I remember watching the pilot, and then I would start watching. I watched it here and there, and I guess for some reason is one of those things. I got away from doing other things and whatever. But always wanted to go back to it, and it's excellent science fiction. It's and of course it's got some great characters and a lot of good humor to it. Let's see. 6 says people with dementia tend to remember earlier memories, wedding day and children birth versus most recent milestones. So I don't blame him for wanting to make strong memories with his children. That's a good point. I'm old, of course, but I've been terrified by my memory for some time right now. And I'm not kidding, I don't want to get depressing, but I'm really worried about the way my memory has been of the past couple of years, by a decade, really. But anyway, maybe it's just normal. So, but anyway, this show, I I'm really enjoying it. It's a lot of fun going back. I just started back at the beginning. They had yeah, it's true. They were pretty blatant about that. They had a oh, sorry, it's got crazy science. Yes, they named, like, they have a super scientific genius named Stark. They even, it was written out, but they even named and the guy, I like the guy playing him, Ed Quinn or whatever. He's named him Nathan Stark, and he looks just like, kind of looks like Tony Stark. Could have played him in the movie. But anyway, basically, for the premise is basically this. Are you familiar with it at all, Raquel? Or
No, I'm familiar with the name, but upon the presentation of the visual, I have never watched this, but I'm very familiar with the name.
Your premise is after World War II, there were a bunch of Albert Einstein and a bunch of other scientists got together, in conjunction with the U.S. government to section off a big chunk of somewhere up in the northern, like in Oregon. There were a couple of times where they said it was like Northern California, but then other times they say Oregon. Somewhere up in there, they kind of shifted a little bit here, but I think it's in Oregon, where a gigantic part, a big gigantic town, or I mean a town rather, a small town, excuse me, where all the it was filmed in Canada. They all the geniuses, almost all of them, but not all of them, many geniuses. In other words, a town full of extraordinary geniuses, the finest minds in the country would go there. And there's in the town, or outside of the town, there's a place called Global Dynamics, which is a big corporate building with all the scientists. Most of the scientists work for it. And so they got all kind of crazy hyper science around there. Everybody in the town is a special kind of genius and stuff. But the pilot, basically, a U.S. Marshal has just captured his delinquent daughter who was running away from home, and he's driving her home, and he ends up crashing near Eureka and getting his car brought there, and he discovers he's just a regular guy, as you can see him right there. Brilliantly played by Colin Ferguson, this actor right here. He's a U.S. Marshal, but by the end of the pilot, he ends up staying in the town, and he's not a genius. He's not a scientific genius, but they still see value in his abilities because they're like, this guy has practical abilities, and he's a cop. He's got cop-type instincts and stuff like that. And these geniuses, they think, well, he's actually good at solving things, and he actually shows them up sometimes. But he's like this regular guy, a normal guy, with amongst all these geniuses. So a lot of the humor comes from that. And you really like this regular guy amongst all these like super geniuses and stuff. And Joe Morton is brilliant. He's a brilliant scientist in it. They got a great cast, great humor, great chemistry with the cast and stuff. There's really off the wall science fiction stories. You can tell they watched a lot of Star Trek and they read a lot of science fiction. They even have very Trek things in it. Very off the wall types of plots and story arcs and stuff. Story arcs, but always single individual episodic stories, which I like. So,
I just wrote it down. I'm watching this whole thing.
It's on Amazon. I don't know if it's on Amazon where you are, but
I'll find out. But I'm watching it. It
might be on Markazon too.
Oh, nice.
I love you, Mark. You're such a good friend. You're so wonderful. Thank you, my friend.
It may not even be your bag, but I think if you give 1 or 2 episodes a shot, you never know. Because again, you really like this guy because hello, Snail Messiah.
Hey, Snail.
He's the regular kind of Joe amongst all these geniuses, and yet he's really clever. And of course, since this is long ago enough for it to have, certainly they have Hollywood type of, not, you can't use the W word about it, but they have enough to show that the men are men and the women are women. They got beautiful women. They got eye candy for the ladies on the show too. The ladies like him, and they like the other dudes on the show, but they have some super beautiful women, and they're all great, wonderful, independent women, and they're just, the characterization is excellent. I think anyway, the show has a lot of humor in it, and it is, but the stories are pure science fiction. Well, there are times when they probably, if you're very, very picky, you might say, that's science fantasy. Fair enough. Star Trek did it too sometimes. So, but it is, unfortunately, Will Wheaton was on some, but what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Larry says there was a HAL computer.
Well, there was a computer that runs the house he lives in. It's not HAL, but it's similar like that. Yeah.
Oh,
it's an AI.
The computer's called IBM.
They deal with a lot of every science fiction concept now, but the thing is, what's interesting about it is in modern times, even though they have technology just way above anything that's outside of there, because all the geniuses went there and stuff. And Cockney Spock, we're probably mad at it because they mess with time travel and other dimensions and all that crap.
No.
So eventually, at some points here and there, but brilliantly, I think so. I'm really enjoying going back. I'm now already into the second season. It doesn't take long. There are 5 seasons. I don't know how many episodes they're at. There are. Stale Messiah says, "Oh, I just rewatched the whole show. Rewatched it, so he's a fan."
Wow.
And hey, DJ Ronnie G.
Hey, DJ Ronnie G.
Good to see you.
Hey, DJ. Yep.
Snail Messiah says Will Wheaton is an unlikable. I'm not sure what that word is.
Like TwoMorrows or whatever. Well, it's typecasting. That's for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the show, you like it.
I haven't even gotten to him yet. Yeah, and I love. Oh my God, some of the ladies in this. Oh Jesus, God, their gorgeousness. Beautiful women in this thing.
It's nice to hear you excited about something.
What I'm enjoying is again. I'd watched it before, but not all the way through. Now I'm committed to. And the reason why I did this the other night, I was just flipping because now that I got that Sling or whatever TV, and I'm flipping, just bored, and then want to. How you sometimes you don't feel like committing to something. You just flipping to watch something a few minutes and hoping you fall asleep. And it was on there. I hadn't seen this in a while. This is Eureka. Let me. I stopped.
Eureka.
And I said Eureka, and enjoyed it. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to stop doing this. It's like 2 or 3 nights in a row. I'd land on it. Go, well, this is fun to watch. I forgot. And I said, screw it. I'm going to go back to the beginning and just boom. So there you go.
There you
Mark,
go.
Go ahead, Mark. What were you going to say?
Well, I was going to say no. I used to watch it, but just back in the good old days when you'd flip through channels when you had and I'd watch a ton of sci-fi channels. So you kind of hit an episode and you'd watch a few, and you're like, I never watched it, nonstop, but it was always an enjoyable episode when you watched it. So it was always good. Yep.
I gotta
Clubby
put
is
this
a
on the
slinger.
marquee.
A slinger. I don't know what that is, but
Mark.
what's the 3 audiobooks voiced by Wheaton? We all have our regrets. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. I'm sorry, DJ Johnny.
Oh, DJ Ronnie G, love you.
Well,
so can I put that one up? Yeah.
I don't know what a slinger is, but I guess
you use the sling. You use the
sling. Yeah.
Sling.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a fact, but society is to blame. So, and Matt Frewer is a semi-regular on the show. He's great. They got a good cast. How it ended up, I don't know, but I know I enjoyed what I've seen and what I've seen so far, and I'm in for a journey. How many episodes are this damn show?
5 seasons, I think.
Please let it
5
be lost.
seasons.
Let it be lost.
I know the first season wasn't a lot of episodes, though.
I'm trying to remember. I think it was 5 seasons.
Yeah, 5 seasons, but I don't know how many episodes. Let me go try.
79.
Everything I love has like 13 episodes total.
79, like Star Trek.
Oh,
I just said 79.
79.
I said 79 as a joke. Was it 79? Wow.
Oh no! I thought you were telling me. Oh, you.
I know. I was joking. I was joking.
I don't know if it's 79.
Mark, shin kicks. Your agonizer, please.
Well, that was an
Now
inside Star Trek.
You
know how you're in sync with someone. Geek lore. How many episodes?
Hey, listen, everyone, put Mark in the agony booth. Just get it over with. Rite of Ascension.
Right.
Come on, that was a gooder.
Now. Jesus,
it was a gooder. I love you, Mark.
All right, let's see how many. Let's see. I gotta find an episode guide. I'll look for it. You should have to be the one to look for it, since you went with the joke that made me go, sure. I'm just kidding. All right, let's see here.
Just rovered. Mark.
If it's going to be 79, I'm playing the lottery. All right, 12, 13, 18, 21, 13.
12, oh, wow.
Plus 13.
Hang on there.
Plus 18.
Looks like there are, you might have been close.
21 plus
77.
Oh, God.
Oh, so close.
Darn, I'm not going to win the $1 billion.
Then there were some webisodes.
Oh, if you add 2 webisodes, then I win.
Now, oh, by the way, this show, some may not know, this show had 2 sister shows. It was, did any of you ever watch a show called Warehouse 13?
Nope.
I've seen that a little bit, yeah.
Okay, also, I didn't get to watch much of that either, same deal kind of, but it was a good show.
Yeah.
It's in the same universe as this. They crossed over a couple of times. Warehouse 13, there's this gigantic warehouse. Now, please forgive me if I'm not getting the premise exactly right, because I can't remember, but you remember that show you used to love, Mark, called Friday the 13th in the 80s?
Yeah, love that show, yeah.
Well, in this show,
ginger on that show.
Oh gosh, yeah, Roby. And on
Yeah.
Warehouse 13, which is also a very well loved show, but it has a really big science fiction fan following, and it's in the same universe. Like I said, these two people they have this big hidden place somewhere out in the up north, somewhere in the sticks. I forgot exactly where. It they hunt for these cursed artifact type things that they have to go, and they have use a lot of very high technology science to go look for these things, to find them and stuff like that. And it's in the same universe as Eureka. Then there was a show called Alphas. Oh, Six liked Warehouse 13. A lot of people, Warehouse 13 has a bigger fan following than Eureka does. And then Alphas didn't last that long, but they said it was the same universe.
That was one with Brent Spiner, right?
Alpha, yeah, he was on that. He was on Alphas.
He was on that.
Right?
Yeah,
It's only like one season.
yeah.
But Warehouse 13 was very popular. Yeah, 6 enjoyed it. There were a lot of every time I've gone to Dragon Con and they've had the people from that show there many times. Yep, great actors. But great character actors in Warehouse 13. So Hunger Boy's a fan as well. Imagine the warehouse from Raiders of the Lost Ark. That's Warehouse 13. But one of the funny things about Warehouse 13 was they found out one day that they were near this small town, and they thought that the people in the small town just were jerks and a whole bunch of people who hated them. And then we find out why they hated them, because the small town, to cover up what they were, the small town was told that they worked for the IRS, that there was an IRS stronghold. It was an IRS warehouse and not doing, secret.
That's hysterical.
And
On Alphas is not the show with Brent Spiner. To correct myself. Yeah, I'm thinking of a different
was on that.
CBS. There was a CBS show that had Brent Spiner. Yeah, Alphas was a different. I'm mixing up my. What was the name of that? There was a CBS show that was an alien invasion type show, or with Brent Spiner. I don't know, but I just don't want to misspeak there.
I don't know. So we have fans of some people here have seen Eureka and fans of Warehouse 13, which, like I said, was more popular probably. So, and I can't remember how many episodes that lasted, but it lasted a good while. Had a big following. Warehouse 13, good stuff. Back when the Sci-Fi Channel actually cared about making making something interesting.
Had some great shows back then. Yeah. So
Chasing 80s Toys. Hey there. What's up, man? Good morning there from the Netherlands, everyone. Good to catch the tail end of this stream live. Well, it's good to have you, 80s Toys, Chasing 80s Toys. It's a pleasure and honor, sir. I hope you are doing well.
You're from the Netherlands? That is so cool. My husband is from the Netherlands. His whole family is. That's so cool. Chasing 80s Toys.
Great channel. Of course,
awesome videos.
Great channel. Please, everyone, if you can find applying their channel, if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe to Chasing 80 Toys. Isn't he? I think he knows our buddy Scuba Pete.
Oh yeah, we do the channel together.
Yeah, and of course, and this is also a gentleman that we did an Iconicon video together. So yeah.
Darius Munchell said, if I had a nickel for every time I've heard that from my family members, if you ain't Dutch, you ain't much.
All right, I got to correct myself. So he was on Spiner was on Threshold, which is a CBS show.
I thought he was
investigating
on
extraterrestrial. He was on one episode of Alphas as Dr. Kern. And see, it was right in both ways. It was right both ways by accident.
Right both times. Well done.
And I did have one quick thing I wanted to show.
What?
So here I'm going to present this because all our video game fans out there are a big debt of gratitude to this great engineer, inventor. So if you notice your goggle doodle for today looks kind of like a video game.
Why are you using Google?
Because they're celebrating Jerry Lawson. Would have been his 82nd birthday today.
Oh, wow.
So can anyone guess in the chat? Well, of course, if you goggled it, you already know. But guess what he invented way back in the day? Bueller.
Video games.
Well, what he did invent was
Atari.
Breakaway.
He invented. How do I turn the volume off on this?
Did he make Pong?
Well, you guys can't hear it, but
what is this?
This is a Pong game.
A Pong. This is Pong.
So let me go back home. Let's see if I can learn more about
Pong?
him. He invented the game cartridge. So he invented the game cartridge.
Oh, wow.
The cartridge that you could take in and out There was a video of him. Why did it go to? It went to the game. Let's see if I can learn.
Hey,
I want to learn about him.
Donnie Pearson says his dad watches Grim and binges Grim and Eureka and Warehouse 13 on Pika. There
Nice,
you go. Eureka's definitely on Amazon. That's where I'm watching, and I hope it's on. I don't know if Warehouse 13 is or not.
Darius Munchausen. I had an ex who was Dutch, smoking hot, all legs. And Chasing 80s Toy says, don't forget about our famous Dutch stroop waffles. Can I please say that I think apple stroop is terrible? It's absolutely the most disgusting thing I've ever eaten. However, I will say this. I love Dutch chocolate and I love Dutch cheese. They have such good cheese. And you know what I love, Chasing 80s Toys? Hootsput.
There you go.
So what he invented was invented the game cartridge, which is fantastic. So with the Fairchild Channel F, so as the cartridge slot.
Look at that, man! Oh my
so the incredible idea here is, of course now this is obsolete, but the tech at the time was phenomenal. So you could actually, when we bought Pong in the 70s, well, you got Pong comes with 32 games, but they're all variations of Pong. You did a hockey version.
Wow!
So this way you could take the cartridge in and out.
Did he also invent the saying, don't blow on the cartridge?
Was son actually, there was a video. I don't know, I'm trying to find out why I can't get to it back in Google, but there was a video that his son is actually a game engineer and a designer.
Oh, nice.
And how they made the doodle was, I'll find it and throw it in the chat. Let me try to find another screen here. But what was incredible was just the idea of it, and also, where he came from, the quote unquote unfortunate stereotype is, he came from, very humble beginnings, and he was born in Brooklyn, and his dad was a longshoreman, but he got a great was just such a genius, and he finally couldn't pursue a career in physics, they said, but then he was able to get to college, and then he moved to San Francisco and started working at Fairchild Semiconductor in San Francisco, and he created an early coin-operated game called Demolition Derby, which is an amazing game. Love that game, using Fairchild's new F8 microprocessors. And Demolition Derby was one of the earliest microprocessor-driven games. So think of how brilliant that is to come up. It's all brand new tech, hasn't been done before. You're a pioneer. Which is phenomenal. So, they came up with the idea, and the console was didn't sell well, but the idea, you could swap out your game cartridges, so you could play, multiple games, and that was used on every, from the, if you're a child of the 70s and 80s, the Atari, and going forward until then, of course, CDs, and now today everything's downloadable, but everyone, almost everyone had a 2600, so it's fantastic to see that honor someone like that as a real pioneer in the field. And hey, don't let anyone tell you you can't do something. Go get it done, and don't listen to anyone who says you can't do something. And he had a lot of challenges in his life, obviously, back then, so it's great that he's getting this recognition. So I just didn't want to go through the whole show without mentioning that, because a lot of
hail to
gamers
him, absolutely.
Yay!
Fantastic. Hey, Oliver Bellamonte, what's up, buddy? Yeah, we talked about it at the beginning of the show. We did see that teaser trailer. Thank you. Good for being here. That's good to see you.
Yep. So I'll post this link because I don't know, it was tough for me to find it, but it was great that his son was involved in this.
Cute.
So yep. So his son. I can't play. I don't know if you get. I'm not going to play the video. Who the heck knows? With Google, if you play a Google video,
you'll get in so much trouble. Don't.
We'll get Googled, so I'm not going to play it. But I'll post the link in so that people can watch this. I think it's right. I'd recommend that you watch this. Just to, of course, he's an engineer, so I thought it was very cool. And I hit 400 subs today too, so that was cool.
Hey, congrats!
Thank you, everyone.
We'll just do it Sunday night.
We'll do it Sunday night, I guess. Yeah,
we'll do a special.
I I dropped to $3.99, but I hit 400. So
yeah,
who
it
cares?
always
They always
goes up
do
and
that
down
there.
there. Well, yeah.
So if anyone wants to check to make sure you're still
Everyone,
subbed
please
to me
go
out there.
subscribe to Mark D with a C. Put your link in there.
Yeah, I shall put the link in
So,
there.
well, why don't we start making our way out of here? We'll do some show notes. That is one of them, of course. Anything final words, Mark?
Nope, just Sunday Night Geekery. Thank you, and just check out my channel. Hopefully, you get notifications whenever I do videos, and I'll be hanging out in the chat on Saturday Night Star Trek. Looking forward to that too. So, thank you.
Well,
a fun chat tonight, everyone. Yep, and thank you, Darius, for that. Yep. And
any
Shooter.
final?
Yep. Thank you, everyone.
Any final words? Number one.
Well, yeah, I just want to thank everybody in the chat for the marvelous conversations tonight. You guys are outstanding conversationalists. We had a wonderful time with you tonight, and I'm speaking for Clubby and for Mark. We had such a great time, such great conversations, and you're the ones who make that happen. And it's really, really terrific. And we appreciate you for that. I also want to thank the wrenches. I love our wrenches. I love Eric. I love D. Bud Martin. I love Chris Persia. And congratulations to Fanti on your new identity card, I want to call it. I think it's totally cool. I want to thank everyone for the super chats and for the super stickers and for the memberships that they're buying for others. Six, Cardi, Trevor Cunningham, and others who just generously donate to keep the lights on at this virtual comic book shop.
Yeah.
We really appreciate it. I want to thank everyone who just lurked. I lurk all the time. So does Clobby. So does Mark. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting this channel. Don't forget to share the URL for this channel. Don't forget to hit your sub and notification bells. Please follow Mark. He's super fun. And I also want to say thank you to Clobby. Thank you for this wonderful space where we get to just hang out and be weirdo geeks and weirdo nerds together. I just love it. I love the stuff we talk about. I love the stuff we get into. I always have fun. You guys are like my best friends ever. And I adore you, Clubby. Thank you for everything.
Thank you. Love you. And thank you all so much for being here with us tonight. Quick show note, I guess. Let's see. Tomorrow night, I should be hanging out with my good buddy Nick Weiser stream, the comic book gang, the Friday Night Comic Shop gang, I should say. That's 8:30 Central, 8 p.m. Central, 8:30 Central, p.m. of course. Then Saturday night Star Trek continues. 4 more episodes of Star Trek Deep Space Nine, beginning season 4 to be reviewed. 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, same Trek time, same Clubby channel. And of course, I'll be hanging out with the great Mark D with the CR Engineer on his Sunday Night Geekery, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And a big shout out on Monday, of course, I'll be doing the usual Monday Night Mark C Comics Talk. I might try to come up with a topic. But next Wednesday night, I'll be hanging out with the great Michael French of Retro Blasting, my good friend. I'm looking forward to that so much. Cannot wait to do that. It's going to be a lot of fun. So thanks a lot, Michael, for agreeing to do that. And then, of course, I thank you all for being here with us tonight. Let's see. Now we'll give the shout outs. We'll try to shout. We'd like to shout everybody out. First and foremost, of course, our fantastic wrenches, the great Eric K. We got whether they're here or not, we'd like to shout out our wrenches. The bronze wrencher. He had to leave, but we shout out the great Chris Persia, the Vindicator Wrench of the North. Thank you so much, buddy. And I don't know if he was here tonight, but he gets a shout anyway because he's a good pal. The great D. Bud Martin, the Wrench of Iron. Thank you, buddy. And of course, shout out to he's a wrench and he's a pal, the great Phantom Outsider who was here tonight. There, you are immortalized at CLOBBERIN times, dude. So there you go. And Apollonie's Minion and the Pupper were here, so hello there to you and the wonderful puppy dog. And let's see who else was here tonight. The Comic Relief Crusader was here. Sean Estep. Estep, I hope I'm saying that correctly. I apologize if I'm not. Gwagnar. Brian Hepburn. Again, the aforementioned fantastic retro blasting. Good, thank you, buddy, and the wonderful, beautiful, lovely, fantastic Six. Love you, Six.
Mwah,
Thank you for
mwah,
being here
mwah.
tonight.
I had a
You were
blast
the
with you
bestest.
tonight, you sexy woman.
You are the bestest ever. Cal L, Stephen M, buddy, the real soup.
Real soup.
That's right. Classic Comics. Thanks for being here, bud. Appreciate you. Let's see. Brian Hepburn, thank you for being here with us.
Night, Brian.
Let's see. Hang on. It takes me a second to get to him sometimes. Hungry to excel at choosing sci-fi for the doyen, aka the less complicated name, Hungry Boy, brother, the great artist of Clobberin Times, and of course, the wonderful book by our fantastic friend and first officer, R.M. Briggs. And there is, of course, take a look at that while we're doing this.
Oh, thank you
Let's
to
see here.
everyone who purchased the book tonight. Thank
Thank
you for your
you.
support.
Absolutely.
Well,
Absolutely.
I bought it too. Just
Oh, thank you.
got the hardcover.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
Let's
Be
see
longer
here.
to send, but looking forward to it. Yep.
Here we go. Hang on. We'll get to. I'm gonna get everybody. I promise. Captain Infinity and beyond.
Captain Infinity.
Followed by another captain, Captain James T. Skywalker.
We ever have Captain Kangaroo here?
Yes.
He never
he
shows up
lurks.
anymore.
We've had
Lurks.
Captain Caveman.
No, are you sure we've had Captain Cave? Sorry. Darius Munchausen, buddy.
You're
Claude
great tonight.
Salling.
Good
Claude
night.
Salling, thank you for being here. It takes a second. This thing. Don't jump. Oh, damn it.
Don't jump.
Damn it. This thing jumps. It feels like it's going to jump on you, but it just doesn't. Ezra
Damn it,
Goldstein,
Janet.
I believe Ezra Goldstein had to run, but good
He
to see
did.
you. The great Max Redstone had to run, but a shout out. You get the shout out whether you're here or not.
Yep.
The way we roll round up and yell, round up and yell. Mark Seth, thank you.
Good night, Mark.
Sometimes Just Joe, Jobber buddy. Good to see
Jobber
you, man.
was
Thanks for being
here.
here. The great Jobber. The great J-Man was here, buddy.
Thank you for stopping in.
Good to see you, bud.
An author in his own right. His wife is an award-winning Canadian poet. Please visit his Twitter and please visit his Amazon store.
JT Kirk.
JT
That's me, buddy. Dave was here.
Hey.
And my good cuz Dave Rayborn also was here.
Hey, hi, sweetheart. Yeah, it was great to see you.
Let's see. Wow, we got so many. It takes a second to get to everyone. So sorry about that. There's still more. Don't worry. I haven't run out of anyone yet. Donnie Pearson. Thank you, Donnie Pearson, for
Good night,
being here.
Donnie.
Let's see. Let's see. Trevor Cunningham, thank you so much for everything.
Yep. Thank you, Trevor. Good night, sweetheart. You were great company tonight.
Indeed.
Everybody in the
thank
chat
you.
too. Clobby's going to get to her to say goodbye, so I'm hesitant to roll this out. But Retro Nerd Girl has joined the chat, as
Oh,
well
my.
as Dave G Sound. So please say hello as
Oh.
we say our goodbyes to Dave G Sound. Hope your shoulders
Yeah.
feeling better, sweetheart. And welcome, Retro Nerd Girl.
Retro Nerd Girl, welcome. My new friend that popped in last night. Yes, lovely to see you, my dear. Good to see you. We're just saying our final goodbyes. We like to shout everyone out when we're leaving, but it is wonderful to see you. Thank you so much. I can't see the front of the chat. I'm just going for what
That's why.
Delta,
Yeah,
of course, because I've got it backed up so
Oh,
I
you
can say
got
hello
us,
to
yeah.
everybody. But yeah, but thank you so much. And Retro Nerd Girl, it is an honor. She has a wonderful channel. Please, everyone, subscribe to her
Oh,
channel.
nice.
It's a big one. It's a huge one, and she does great stuff. Let's see here. Let's see. Stunt Brat 777 Smith, lovely lady. Good
Yeah,
to see
she
you.
is a lovely lady, and I'm so happy that she joined us tonight. Good night,
Yes.
sweetheart.
Indeed. Larry, my buddy.
Larry, you know that I love you, and I saw all of your messages, and I also saw your heart, and I'm sending love back to you. I think that you are just a sweetheart of a man. You're always such a gentleman, and you're always terrific company. Thank you for being here. I enjoyed your company immensely tonight. Good night, sweetheart. Mwah.
Pleasant Valley Picker.
BBB.
Hope you're doing well, buddy. Let's see here. We're gonna get everybody. We get everybody here on these special nights. We do it on Saturday nights. We do it on Thursday nights sometimes as well.
Yeah.
Let's see if I got everybody. I always think I got everybody, then I don't. You know, we always play that game, and it's about time to play that game. Let's see how far we are.
DJ Ronnie G. DJ
Ronnie G. Hey,
yeah. Thank you, sweetheart, for supporting my book. I really appreciate it.
Darth Scipio, or they say Scipio, however you say it. Darth Scipio. Good. Thank you for being here with us. Boosh McFadden, buddy.
Boosh.
The great Cardinal Sin. Thank you, buddy, for the super sticker. No, thank you so much for being here tonight.
Don't forget to follow Cardi.
Please,
Cardinal
Sin
please. On YouTube and on Twitter.
And absolutely. Links in my description below to his and many other friends' fine YouTube channels. Let's see here. Michelle O'Rourke Johansson, thank you.
Good night.
Let's see. Good night. Let's see. Okay. Whoa, it jumps on me. Yeah, man.
Oliver Belamonte.
Oliver Belamonte, yes.
Oliver Belamonte.
Now, Mark, it's time for that game.
Minimus.
Oh, did we get everyone? Did you say?
Oh, Maddie's daddy.
Maddie's daddy.
And Minimus was here. Who?
Retro Boston? You said Retro Boston, right?
Yes.
Oh, yes, I said Retro Boston, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just checking.
Michael.
Just checking.
No, you can't cheat.
I can't cheat. Well, I'm just searching my data banks.
Larry is one of my favorite people on the internet. He's like, we love nerds. We love girls. Love you, Larry.
So let's see here. I'm barely
Snail
out
Messiah.
even. Snail Messiah.
Yes,
yeah,
Snail
buddy.
Messiah.
Thanks.
See, I got one.
Yeah,
See?
you got
Did
one.
get one.
Because I'm not even out of the first hour yet. That's how many chats we have.
Oh, we got a lot. It was a rocking chat tonight. Yep.
It was a rocking chat tonight.
Felt everyone. Yep.
So we're about to. I'm about to just go call it anyway because keep everybody. We got Shooter.
Jason 18 Toys. You said.
Yeah, Jason 80 Toys. Scuba Pete.
Scuba Pete.
Yep.
Who married his buttery popcorn girl.
He did. Yeah. I know I got Darius Munchausen, but just in case, I'm going to get him again there. Because, my memory is really garbaggio.
We got
Das Wolfen.
Das Wolfen.
Oh, yeah, we got classic comics.
Who else? Let's try and find you.
Let's see. I'm going to go way, way out on a limb and say I've got everybody. But every time I do that, what happens?
Friendly Giant. Look up. Look way up.
Way up. Then what happens every time I do that? Every time I do that. So, Keely Chow, Roll Tide.
Oh, yes, Keely. Keely was here. Hey, man. How's it going?
Some people just pop in for a second to say hello, which we love.
Oh, Alejandro Flores Ibarra.
Yeah, Alejandro. Thank you. Scrolling music, folks. Duty. All right.
It's much better than another hopscotch song. So.
All right. Well, all right. Now I'm fairly confident we got everybody.
We got everyone.
Yeah, we don't want to.
I think we got them all.
Play that other song in the background when we're searching. Yeah.
What song is that?
The hopscotch song. Alan Moraine.
Oh, don't you dare.
Oh.
That'd be horrible to play that in the background.
I would never play that.
Don't you
never do that, right? You would
dare.
never do that.
No, it would be. I'm total agreement. I would never play it ever.
You
won't catch me playing
everyone. That. I think we got everyone.
Okay, I think we got everybody. If we miss anybody, you have our sincerest apologies. I want to thank everyone who lurked and everyone who listened on a rewatch or a download, however you want to call it. But I'm going to go ahead and pull the plug and say that we shouted everybody out It's not easy when you put your, bring your, run your check all the way back like that. It's really tough.
Did we get a Palamese
hard
minion
labor.
and the pepperoni? I don't recall
Oh
the
yeah,
song.
of course it did.
The
No, yes.
pepperoni, the pepperoni.
Pep.
Oh, that was cheap, Clobby. That was cheap, baby. Oh, Dead Man Clan.
Dad Man and the Dad Man Clan. See, I told you.
Hey, Dad Man.
I'm
You can't
gonna
trust
make
Mark.
sure we get everyone.
Can't trust Mark. Blame Mark. Yeah.
Blame Mark.
It's in his contract.
It's in my contract.
That's
Yeah.
true. Minimus. I already got Minimus, I think.
He got Minimus. Yeah.
Not that he matters.
Don't minimize him.
He doesn't like the matter.
Tim's talk.
He doesn't like the Tim's talk. See, there you go. Tim talk.
Tim's talk.
Oh,
like
To
to
the
your
drop
left,
in and
to
say
the
hello.
left.
Yeah.
Everything you own.
On your
in the
left,
pocket
on your
to the
left. Mr. Angel didn't pop in, did he? Or is that my imagination?
No. I think we just
I don't
spoke about
think I
him
saw
because
Mr.
I
Angel
found out
tonight.
tonight he is also Dutch. And if you ain't Dutch, you ain't much.
Oh.
Even though
you
I
go.
don't want any apple stroke because it's sick.
Well, we did it. I think we got everybody.
I think we
Riveting.
did it.
That's riveting radio, folks, saying hello and goodbye to people, but we like it because we care about everybody being here. We thank you so much. And we've done all the shows and everything. All this left is to leave you with these fine messages and credits. Everyone, please, going into the weekend, have a wonderful and safe weekend. Starting tomorrow at Friday, and just have a be well, everybody. Thank you so much for being here with us. Thank you.
It's clobbering time.
What happened?
Oh, the clip stopped playing.
Why did you do that?
I don't.
Clobberanimo! I just love clobbering time.